that we are not better people to compete. He comes from a country where we are not honest enough. We cheat on everything we do. We are not qualified to be anybody. That's why Mr. Witherspoon told the judge. And being in America, the only higher degree he believed he could get was an associate degree. And he believed that others who came could not reach that associate degree. So he decided to get into a business of giving people fake documents. That is what Mr. Witherspoon decided to show to the world. That is how he defined us. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth. He's wrong. But I want to show you tonight and want to remind you the attitude of Mr. Witherspoon is not going to be limiting itself to himself. He's going to mess more Liberians out. Let's go to another video here again, folks. Let's go to another video here. The man that Liberian people continue to share platform with, they continue to admire, thinking that they're still in Liberia. And the reason they are thinking that they are still in Liberia, because as I always say, there are Liberians who came from Liberia, living in America. They still think in their mind, their soul, their body, that whatever they are doing here, they still think that they are in Liberia. I think one reason is because the way they speak the Liberian English all the time, they see each other, they still believe that even though they're in America, a country of law, a country that defines people on the content of their character. In some other cases, people who stereotype you. And they without no clear understanding of the law, which in the code of law is not an excuse. They continue to put themselves in harm's way. Let's go to another video here by Stanton Witherspoon. For Stanton Witherspoon again, folks.
More than 7,000 bogus degrees. But the big story on Action News tonight is the local connection to what federal investigators call a massive scheme to sell fake nursing degrees. We learned today that 2 Burlington County residents are among 25 people charged with operating the nationwide ring. Now, according to investigators, the group peddled more than 7,000 bogus degrees and nursing certificates to the tune of more than $100 million. Action News reporter John Paul joining us live in Kansas.
This is the United States, though, folks. This is ABC World News. It's all over the world. ABC World News. It's all over the United States. It's all over the world. Now listen to what you are about to watch. Listen. Listen to what you are about to, pay attention to what you're about to watch.
Camden tonight. And John, the feds say some of these fake nurses put real patients in danger.
Yeah, and that is the real concern tonight, Brian, that they may not have the background to actually treat people in a hospital-type setting. You know, I've confirmed tonight that Delaware actually annulled the licenses of 26 nurses already. And the feds tonight, they're charging people across the country, including 2 in South Jersey.
All of us feel this is egregious.
Strong words from the executive director of Delaware's Board of Nursing after learning of a massive scheme out of Florida to sell fake nursing degrees. And tonight, we've confirmed 26 nurses in Delaware had their licenses annulled in connection to the fake degrees.
These people who went to these Florida schools did not complete the curriculum, the education, and the clinical training that is required of all nurses to be eligible to take their licensure exam and to be licensed as a nurse.
She says there are no reports of patients being harmed, but tonight 25 people across the country face charges for their involvement in the scheme that brought in more than $100 million, including Stanton Witherspoon and Alfred Sellew of Burlington County, New Jersey.
He's home? Okay. Can we talk to him?
We tracked down Witherspoon at his home in Burlington today, but family members said he couldn't talk. Over the phone, he told me he had to check in with his lawyer.
That is the man that the people worshiping in this country, folks. That is the man that people worshiping in this country. That is the man many Liberians are worshiping in this country. The man who brought shame to you. Let's forget about Josh Weah. This thing is not about Josh Weah politics. Let me be straight up with you guys here. This thing is not about Josh Weah politics. It's about our self-esteem. It's about our character. It's about our integrity as Liberian and as African and as black people. That is what this thing is all about. They did not do it to a Ghanaian. They did not do it to a Somalian. They did not do it to a Kenyan. They didn't do it to any African. Stanton Witherspoon. Which one of you right now would like to be in a kind of situation? Which one of you would like to be in a kind of situation? I want you to process this a little bit. Do you think the kind of attitude going to make our country better anytime soon? No. Do you know the kind of stereotype mindset that this guy has put through? When you listen to the gentleman who went to the courthouse, what did he say? They asked Mr. Stanton Witherspoon about his nationality. What did he say? Before he became a U.S. citizen, he is a born Liberian. That's why he told the judge. Who you think he was representing at that time? Every Liberian. Was he representing us on a good face or on a good note? No. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go and do something else. Let's go and do something else there. So yesterday, of everything you know, yesterday, see your brothers and sisters then.
Yes, I just did it.
All right, hold on 1 minute. Let me go and check, yeah? Hold on. What's your name?
Christine, my aunt will be in Stanton.
Hey, Christine.
Yeah.
Christine, they keep moving fast, my sister. I cannot say.
Taxi.
Yeah, but you know what I'm going to do? It's moving fast. We get over 70 people that contribute. I don't want to hold the line to go through, but I will confirm it, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Because the author did it, but no confirmation, so I don't want
I
to
will
be
find,
in the
text
wrong
me.
place.
Use the same number and just text me your name, and I will find it and call you.
Okay, then.
All right, Mama. Thank you. Hello? Hello?
How about Zeze, Marian, we are.
Go ahead. Hello?
Yo, thank you. Marian, we are for 40. How about Zeze for 25?
Francis, thank you very much. Francis, thank you very much. Thank you. We're going to exhaust our time because that's the right thing to do. We got about 25 more minutes to go. Then we'll call the total amount generated, okay? Then we'll do our show. Thank you, my brother. Hello?
Hello, is this Spoon?
That's Spoon. Yes, sir.
This is Boy Isaac.
Okay.
Just $50 contribution.
Thank you very much, Isaac. We appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. And you guys, please accept the fact that all those that contributed, we will put your name down. We have your phone number.
Remember, Liberians, this guy has pled guilty to wire fraud. This guy has pled guilty to wire fraud. I want you to take a look at the cash out number. Do you guys see the cash out number down there? Cash out 649-4206. Let me show you guys something here. Let me show you guys something here. You see this guy? Many of you that watched that show yesterday, that the exact thing he was doing, the exact tone of voice, that's why he was using to conjure other people to buy certificate, which became fake document. What you saw the guy doing yesterday, it was himself. That's how he been behaving. That's why the FBI been monitoring. That was Stanton in his own self. That's what he did yesterday. When you see the video, you need to keep the video. Because the FBI, they having enough proof now that this is how the guy was using people to gain him that 15,000 and get a fake degree. Remember that 609 number, right? Let's get to some reality here. You are dealing with Jay Rennie here tonight. Let's get to some reality here. That we are showing you some videos. Now, let us suspend the video for now. And let's go into some documentation review. All right? Let's go to some documentation review here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys here. All right? Stanton Witherspoon. Boom. This guy is mentioned in the news. And you will soon see that news is coming right now on your screen. It's mentioned in the news. Can you see that, guys? It's mentioned in the news. Let me go back to my original screen and reduce myself because right now I'm looking too big. You cannot see me. So let me just remove myself off the screen so that you can get to see the bigger picture that I'm trying to sell to you guys right now. Boom. It should be coming bigger to you right now because I'm watching it on my phone here. There you go. All right. You see that here? All right. I can see it here myself. So this is the Bradenton County Times. This is where Stanton live, Bradenton County. The report came out, and this is exactly what I say about the report here. Let me go back to the other screen here. Let me interact with the screen itself. All right. Let me interact with the screen itself so that way you can get to see what is unfolding here. You'll soon see the screen moving up right away. This is the story here. All right. This is the story here. All right. This is the story of Stanton Witherspoon right here. It came out on January 27, 2023. Two Bradenton Township men accused of taking part in a scheme. All right. And who are the two gentlemen? Let's come down to their name here. Let's come down to their names. Who are the two gentlemen? This information will never be taken out of the webpage for a very long period of time. Here is the guy here, Stanton Witherspoon. All right? Stanton Witherspoon. And what happened here again? Let's go down here. You're going to see something here. Where did he run his school? All right? He ran a school in Delaware. Let's come to that here. He ran a school in Delaware. Let's go down. He ran a school in Delaware. I will be coming to that very shortly. We're trying to make a point here, folks. We're trying to make a point. Stick with me here, folks. Stick with me here. We're trying to make a point here. All right? Here is the school here that Stanton Witherspoon ran. All right? What are the charges against Witherspoon and his buddy? Stanton Witherspoon ran this school called this Nursing Education Resource Center in Newport, Delaware. Let's stop sharing the screen and go somewhere else quickly. Let me bring you back here. Stick with me on this. Stick with me on this. All right? Let's go back again to something else. Remember that phone number I showed you? That was the phone number that he used for wire fraud. Let's go back somewhere else again. Let's go back again, folks. Let's go back. Let's go back. He went out like this, but I don't care for them. Let's go back again. Let's go back to him. Now we're going to share the screen with you guys again. Boom. We share it with you again. There you go. We are on the rear page now. It's coming up very soon. It's going to pop up very soon. There you go. Here is the Stanton Men's School here, Nursing Educational Resource Center. Now, I want you to pay attention to something here, right? All right. Did you remember that number? Here is the fake thing he did to you guys. Remember the number he showed you guys? That number was what? 609-469-9694. Was that the same number? No, that number was different. It was different. All right. Now, this is a website here. Pay attention to your website. When you click here, you should be expecting the website to open up, right? Let's click here and see what's going to happen. Let's click here and see what's going to happen. All right. 404. Page does not exist. But look up in the top corner here, folks. You see the phone number we read? Didn't you see this number then? Where the people are making the contribution, the zero number? Take a look at it, folks. Take a good look at it. I'm going to take a photo of it. Take a look at the number, folks. I'm moving the cursor over there. Take a look at those numbers. 609-649-9690. Next one is 609-649-4206. Now, let's backtrack again in the same page here. So he telling the people that his page does not exist. The school has been closed down. But here is where he thinks he's smarter than the FBI. When you come to your file right here and you click here, that's the same school here, right? Let's click this one right. You see the cursor moving here? Let's click this one. When you click this, it's going to open up. He thinks he's still running the school. You see here? That is the same page again that he's running. He think the people don't know that he's still running the fake school. By you clicking on the link, he think it's done. You see here, the same payment method, the same scam, the same phone number. The yes name right here, Stanton at whatever the crap is. That's what he's doing. This is what he's doing. All right? So he's still running the fake page. Now, let me start sharing this and give you guys a clear reason of why I decided to show you guys this information. The reason I'm showing you guys the information, those who are making donation through that same number, don't get surprised one day when you get a knock on your door from the FBI. This guy is setting many Liberians up to prove that we Liberians, we are into money laundering. That's what he's doing. If nobody telling you that, you continue to do that. This man has been into court and said that he is guilty of wire fraud, and Liberians still coming on his platform and giving him money, and they are giving him money not in cash but through the same number that you just saw. Let's go back to the conversation again so that way we can validate what we are talking about here. Let's go back there again. Let's go right back there. All right,
and we say a special thank you text message. Listen,
what number do you see here?
Something here.
Look at the number. What number do you see here? 609. I just copied the number, right? 609-649-4202. That is the number he's using. And that's the same number that on his website where he used people to get money from. This guy is setting many Liberians up and they don't understand it. That is exactly what the guys are doing. So listen to your brothers and sisters then. Listen to them.
October 10th. All those of you that contributed, we will put your phone number down and your name, and you'll be part of this family that you contributed for the change in Liberia. Trust me, we will do that. Hello?
That's how he managed to conjure people. Think about this in your imaginary and forensic mind. Just how you hear him talking, how he was telling people to with a fake credential. Look, this class, this course, you're going to get your diploma, you're going to take the state board, you're going to pass, and your future going to be open. And you'll be remembered. That's exactly what the guy did. And that's exactly what he did. Don't take my word for it, folks. Do not take my word for it. Don't even believe what I'm telling you guys here. It came a time, some time ago, I said the same thing. Many people didn't believe it. What he was doing to CDC today. And that's the same thing he still doing today. Don't take my word for it. For me, and for those I know, I don't think they will be naive enough. I don't think they will be naive enough to go and follow that man. People donating money through that same wire fraud, and they don't see the reason. Maybe because they are so complacent or they are so illiterate. That's why I always said political illiteracy, it is directly proportional to social illiteracy in our country. Let me repeat myself again. Political illiteracy is proportionally equal to the social illiteracy in our country. What do I mean by that? By default, the original sin that we have suffered in our country, and by the way, every country around the world suffer from that. The original sin of every country is illiteracy. Every country that was established, they started with learning things out of the hard way or by missed opportunity. And then they fix the problem. And then they learn from there. And they improve on things. That is called the original sin. For us in Liberia, we haven't really figured out how we should fight the original sin. And that is why today we have more of our pioneers' parents. They are so illiterate across the country. Now, with that illiteracy looming around, now here come politics. We don't have the basic of being literate. And then we brought in another component called politics. So with the illiteracy that we have in abundance, or in somehow a percentage, we take that illiteracy and dump ourselves into politics. Something that is completely different from our understanding. And then we find ourselves in it. This is why I'm saying political illiteracy is proportionally equal to social illiteracy, or our Liberian societal illiteracy. So don't think because the people in America here, they don't understand what it means when somebody is guilty of wire fraud. This guy you see here, he knows that there are many Liberians here. You see, when Costa came to the country the first time, he figured out that Liberians here, they are not to the expectation that he thought they were. So he bamboozled money from them too. That would be another story for another day. But today, this guy has figured out, if I can croak people and get billions of dollars, what about the nincompoops out there who don't even care to know whether I'm going to jail? Because you know why? I held back. I'm not going to tell them what happened in the court. Two guys came out here and taught things. As long as I can go out there and say, yes, they are right, guess what? They will believe in me. Don't fault your Liberian brothers and sisters. Don't insult them. The root cause of our problem is illiteracy. You know, as leaders in this country, when something goes wrong, we blame the process. We don't blame the individual. What you see happening, don't blame the Liberians who are doing these things. It is because of illiteracy. Blame illiteracy. And the way to fix illiteracy is to look for the right people who will provide education. While it is true that illiteracy affected us in the past, the illiteracy is also affecting us in the present, which poses a threat to the future. Because as you can see on Facebook today, there are many different platforms. But the way we discuss things here, the approach we take, the statistics we present, and the way we manifest the information and give it to you, not many of the guys are doing those things. Because they believe that they have been victim of the past system. There is no time left to educate the people because they are fishing for themselves. So they don't have the time to educate people. Matter of fact, they exploit the opportunity. That is, they take advantage of the people. They are not willing to help the people. While it is true that they're doing that, guess what benefit them? What gives them the comfort to do that? Many of them children live in America. Their children, their grandchildren are on another country guardians that prepare them for a better future. So as far as opening the eyes and minds of Liberians who are into this thing, they don't care. They don't care. For the few that live back home, they live that upper class life, so they don't care. And that's exactly what they're doing. So what lies ahead of us for the future? The Alpha generation is at a greater risk of becoming a redeemer or a victim. From whom? From the generation X or Y, from the generation, how do you call it? No, the generation Y and the generation Z, and then from the generation X. The Alpha generation is at a greater risk of getting to 2065 with a better Liberia. They will either get there with no limbs, but they will be able to talk. That is what we're facing here today. Because the current generation, both outside Liberia and here, you see how they are on this guy platform and pumping money into him, not even knowing that they're putting their own self at risk. They don't even understand those things. They don't understand it. They do not understand. They don't even know who the guy is. Because this guy himself, Stanton, is a scammer. He's a scammer. He's a natural scammer. The way you saw him and right now the way you see him talking to these people, that is what he does best. That is what he has been doing. He's now showing it to you now. And he's now using it against the Liberian people. And you see how people liking it? That is what he does. That is his business of operation. That is what he does for a living. And the saddest thing there is, he's using the very phone number of the same website that he was scamming these people. He's using the same number. Now, when you take this image and show it to the FBI official, or if the FBI official just decide to watch the show, what you think, aside from the legal aspect, what you think going to be the quantitative understanding of Liberians? What you think going to be the quantitative understanding of us Liberians? How you think people are going to look at us? Let me take a break there small. Let's take a break small. And let me read a few comments there, folks. All right. My brother Tobagi says some of us Liberians in this country are the cause of our problem. I couldn't agree with you more. Yes, I couldn't agree with you more, my brother. I could not agree with you more. All right. Henry Yango said, J. Randy, but you still have Liberian both home and abroad worshiping that criminal. Of course. Why you think is that? Because illiteracy, and illiteracy. Fedro say, I'm surprised. Of course, my brother, when you live in a standard society where ethics, moral value are the key things that support integrity, and you find your brothers and sisters engaging in the kind of situation, why wouldn't you be surprised? I'm also with you too. I'm shocked. Not only surprised, but I'm shocked. But do I feel that this is something that I should be super shocked about? Absolutely not, because that's the people behavior. All right. Pamoto had tagged other people. Yes. All right. Emily say it's good that he met in Liberia with action way for him so he can teach some people his fake. Yes, that's what he's doing. He's teaching how to fake. Yes. And I see other people watching here too. Why is the Unity Party and JMB allow Mr. Spoon and his network, all right, to be raising money for Unity Party? He declined that money. He said that was for himself. But you know, this man, the tongue in his mouth never says the truth, all right? So he's not going to say that, all right? So let's make progress here. Let us make progress here, folks. That's the man you're dealing with there. That is the man the people worshiping today. You see, when Liberians say, you keep my mind, you keep my power, many intellectual people and people with common sense say, you know what? It was due to the war, the intimidation that people suffer. So the generation that came out of the war, they were right. However, when the Liberian people say, you know both, it was a matter of freedom of decision making. It was nothing criminal about that, because the CDC people and the Liberian who voted for George Weah, Mr. Weah did not commit any crime. It was all because people felt that somebody was educated than the others, and they say, you know what, this is our freedom of choice. But the issue of Taylor and the issue of the Unity Party, people who supporting Mr. Stanton, is about criminal behavior. It's about criminal behavior. That is the difference there. When it comes to Charles Taylor, you keep my mind, you keep my power. These people came out with a criminal intent to harass and terrorize and kill people. Stanton Witherspoon and his group, this man had been found, he had put himself in a situation of being guilty. He committed a crime. Taylor committed a crime. Taylor went to jail. Stanton perhaps might be going to jail, but he supports Unity Party. Do you see where I'm coming from? They committed some act against humanity. They defraud people. One person, on the other hand, defraud people of their money and lie to them, issue them fake credentials. The other people, on the other hand, that is the MPFL, intimidated and killed people. As far as the sedition go, it was the matter of breaking rights. We are better than you intellectually, and you're not better than us. And the Liberian people make a choice. There is nothing that has to do with criminality to support criminal behavior. You follow me on that? When you look at Stanton Witherspoon, who is going to jail, perhaps might be going to jail to do some time based on what he has done, and you see Liberian in the United States who live here, who will not do what he has done, but they're picking up money and wiring money through the same thing. And the Stanton man said he doesn't care, even though they are charging a wire fraud. They say a man who is dying fear no fall, right? This guy know that he had committed some financial fraud. Do you think he care? No. What American men always say, whatever happened to me, I will make sure that it don't happen to other people, right? You think the guy gonna think about that? No. He is showing to the American people that Liberians, they are into the same wire fraud. They support criminals. That's why that's the picture he painting now to other people now. That you and I, because we are Liberians, we support criminals. We will give them money. And he proved that on his page. He further proved that with the same number that he got on that his fake web page that you just saw. So the people who supporting Stanton Witherspoon from the Unity Party, when they tell you about a better future for that country, the people in the country here, when you see them supporting Unity Party, do you have any hope for the country? Think about that. Do you have any hope for the country? Look at these people here that on the platform here. Look at them. You know one guy that I feel sorry for? This guy right here with his left hand on his chin. If you look at the guy, all right, let's bring the picture bigger so you can see it. Look at the guy who got the Liberian flag behind. You know what his body language telling him? There are two things running through the guy's mind right now. One, I didn't know that how naive our people are. They are looking at this guy who has been found guilty or who has put himself in a guilty situation of wire fraud, and they are sending money directly to him. Number two, he is a little bit concerned of being on the platform, whether he's going to be a person of interest. As far as the guy they call Fagon, he is a dry leaf that is on a tree that is no longer connected to the tree. It's just a matter of time where the heavy winds will come and then he will just fall off that tree and become a dry leaf. He doesn't care. Because since he's been in this country, he returned, he has not done anything. That lady, she's in Liberia, she doesn't care. Anything goes. Because of party. But the kingpin of all of them, instead of the guy saying to himself, you know, I had done something bad to the Liberian people. I have brought shame to them. He doesn't care to apologize. He is sticking with his old ways. He's going to do what he's going to do because he knows he's going down. He doesn't care. That is the man that people are looking up to. These are the people who will come and say the current government is not doing anything. There is no ethics in these people. There is no moral standard. They don't have no integrity. These are people who should be ashamed of themselves. They are promoting on their platform criminals. A criminal that the American people, when you listen to this man, after all I have said, when you listen to this man here,
one that is selling fake nursing diplomas and transcripts to individuals who use those fake credentials to sit for state board examinations, obtain their nursing licenses, and ultimately get jobs at hospitals, skilled nursing facilities, and assisted living facilities. Arrests have been made in Florida, New York, New Jersey, and Texas, and search warrant has been executed in Delaware. So far, we have made 21 arrests, and there are 2 more individuals who are surrendering within the next 24 to 48 hours. Before I go on discussing how
people charged with operating the nationwide ring. Now, according to investigators, the group peddled more than 7,000 bogus degrees and nursing certificates to the tune of more than $100 million. Action News reporter John Paul joining us live in Camden tonight. And John, the feds say some of these fake nurses put real patients in danger.
Yeah, and that is the real concern tonight, Brian, that they may not have the background to actually treat people in a hospital-type setting. You know, I've confirmed tonight that Delaware actually annulled the licenses of 26 nurses already. And the feds tonight, they're charging people across the country, including 2 in South Jersey.
All of us feel this is egregious.
Strong words from the executive director of Delaware's Board of Nursing after learning of a massive scheme out of Florida to sell fake nursing degrees. And tonight, we've confirmed 26 nurses in Delaware had their licenses annulled in connection to the fake degrees.
These people who went to these Florida schools did not complete the curriculum, the education, and the clinical training that is required of all nurses to be eligible to sit to take their licensure exam and to be licensed as a nurse.
She says there are no reports of patients being harmed, but tonight 25 people across the country face charges for their involvement in the scheme that brought in more than $100 million, including Stanton Witherspoon and Alfred Sellew of Burlington County, New Jersey.
He's home? Okay. Can we talk to him?
We tracked down Witherspoon at his home in Burlington today, but family members said he couldn't talk. Over the phone, he told me he had to check in with his lawyer. Wednesday night, the Department of Justice released findings of what was dubbed Operation Nightingale.
When we talk about a nurse's education and credentials, shortcut is not a word we want to use.
Now the FBI is working to notify state nursing boards to ensure that unqualified nurses are not working in healthcare.
You're playing with people's health. How dare you play with someone's health like that?
It is important to note those nurses in Delaware, they have the right.
So you hear what that lady said, right? You heard what that lady said. Liberians who support that man, they're not going to ask that question. At least a lady walking by the street and they try to get her opinion. And you heard what she said. You know why she said that? Very, very easy. Stanton Witherspoon is somebody that the American people, the American government, and the people of the United States, excluding the Liberians who support him, they know him to be this individual. That's how they know Stanton Witherspoon to be in this country. A man who sell over 7,600 fake nursing degrees. That's who Stanton Witherspoon is known for in this country. That's how he is known in this country. Take a good look. That's how the people know him today in America. But the people who live in America, from the Liberian community, that live in the Liberian community, they see him differently. But when you hear that lady say, how dare is he? Because this is the guy. That's how he is known. They got nothing to do with politics, fellow Liberians. It has to do with our integrity as country and people. That is the man. This is the truth that many Liberians don't understand. And they continue to give this guy their hard-earned money, supporting this guy, wire fraud hobbit. Wire fraud hobbit. He doesn't care. He knows he's going down, so he doesn't care, folks. He doesn't care. Where does that put us, my fellow Liberians? This is now, we touch the political aspect of things here. And I'm not too sure where we'll do it tonight. Because tonight, it was all about Joe Boakai compared to Joshua. But you see the weight that this guy's behavior is putting on the people of Liberia. And I don't blame nobody. I blame the CDC government. They made this guy to be the monster he is today. For those of you that follow me religiously, when the men started buying radio stations in our country, I asked, how much information do you guys know about this guy? Nobody listened. Now he's in the prime of his scam operation, and there are more people following him because they are politically desperate. And he exploiting their desperation. Just how you saw nurses, potential Liberians and other national in the country that felt that they wanted to become an RN, LPN, whatever they wanted to become. He saw the desperation in them and he decided to exploit them by giving them fake degree. He see the political desperation in these people who are in opposition. And guess what he's doing again? He is doing exactly what he does best. Scamming them. Scamming them. Did you hear him saying to the people, oh, we'll list all your names? That is scam. That is scam. That's how scammer work. You know, the name Stanton is not far away from Scanton. He's a scammer. That's who he is. It's not by mistake he got that name. He's a scammer. But he's a high-level scammer. Do you know how the FBI discovered this guy and what they were saying to themselves? There were many things they were saying to themselves. That this guy is nothing but a professional scammer. He's a scam. That's what who he is. When you listen to him, let's go back and listen to him. I want you to listen to him here, all right? Let's go back and listen to how he played the scam game so well. Let's listen to him again.
Hello?
Hey, my name is Tene Juku calling from Rosemount. I just contributed.
Tene, thank you, yeah? Thank you very much, man, Tene.
Right.
All right. Hello?
And these people don't even understand the number they're using. It's the very number this guy had been busted. It was on his webpage. And don't take my word for it. You saw it for yourself. I just showed it to you guys, right? So right now you can go and Google it yourself. And that's the same. You see what make many of our people today, when we talk about not having that very advanced high IQ to understand things, these are people who just go to work, come back, but they are not being able to find the right platform. So they fall for these things. And it comes under illiteracy. But ignorance to the law is no excuse in America. If the FBI decide to track down that thing, because the guy is using cash up. He using cash up. Either he putting it in his wife's name or somebody's name. But what if the FBI decide to follow up? Because all that money he generating is coming into the account in America. And this guy has been found guilty in wire fraud. Understand me here, people. Wire fraud is the art of defrauding people and taking money to them by means of them wiring the money. And the guy is doing the same thing. And he doesn't care. And he gets loading Liberians into it, bringing more Liberians into it, bringing them into it. And they're just going in there, just going in there. But this is how he does the thing. Listen to him.
Hello? Can you lower your volume, please?
I'm sorry, my word. I don't be part of this movement.
Yes, Mama.
I share my contribution this year already.
Ma Sarah, thank you very much for your contribution.
I be part of this movement.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Thank you.
Does she really understand what type of movement it is? Or she just moving because there is an action going on? Does she really understand? Does she really understand? If the FBI having to walk to her right now and ask her, you just send money to a guy who has been convicted. Do you know that you are dealing with a criminal? What do you think that woman going to say, that poor woman? What do you think she's going to say? The illiteracy among our people was manifested yesterday over them. You part of a movement. Nobody know what the movement is. And then you just giving money. You're seeing somebody think that someone ought to be talking. We don't hate our people. And that's why you see, you guys should be doing yourself a favor. Your responsibility on the platform is to share these things here. Your ability not to share these things is also a contributing factor that continues to increase the behavior you see. Because if you start sharing these things and people start to listen to this thing, it will help reduce the level of illiteracy. As I always say, don't come on the platform and be so complacent with the information and say, I got it, Brandy. No. Encourage yourself, push yourself and say, no, I got to share this thing. I got to do this. Look, let me tell you what has happened on how they call it. Let me show you guys what we have achieved so far on YouTube. All right. So let's go to YouTube here. Let me just share something with you guys on YouTube here, and so you can see how far we have come. All right. So let me share something here for you guys here. All right. So just on YouTube alone, since we started, all right, this is how far we are going now, folks. It's coming up. Oh, let me just do something here. Let me just lower myself here or completely block myself out of here from on YouTube here. All right, let's do this here. I will be gone, and then you just be able to see the page yourself, right? So there you go. You see what we have done on YouTube so far, folks. This is what we have done on YouTube so far. All right, we are now having 10,000 views. All right, in total. and then we have 5.2K view so far, and that started from August up to September. All right, September 15 yesterday. Yesterday. So we are doing well. So if the people on YouTube can help us to spread the messages, folks, you need to do your part. All right, that means that people are loving the conversation we are having, and that's why they are doing their best to share these things. People are listening to us and they are helping us here. That's what they're doing. They are listening to us and they are helping us. So you Liberians out there, and let me congratulate those who listen to us by way of YouTube. And that's why we continue to push our channel to the world out there so that they can get to listen. And that's why we want to make sure that this image is shown to the people out there. All right? That's why we want to make sure this image is shown to the world out there so that people can get to know that this guy that calls Stanton Witherspoon, he is a scammer. It's not real. He's a scammer. He's not real. We want to make sure if you listen to me out there and you think that all Liberians are scammers, you are seriously mistaken. You are seriously mistaken. This guy that calls Stanton Witherspoon, I want the people to know, if you listen by way of YouTube, I want you to understand that this guy that calls Stanton Witherspoon, he is nothing but a scammer. Yes, that's who he is. He is a scammer. All right? I want you guys to understand that this guy is a scammer. He's a scammer. That's what he has been doing. So when you listen to this guy taking money from Liberians, that's how he has been taking money from people. Let's listen to him again one more time.
Hello?
Listen to him.
Hey, hello, Stanton?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I sent my
No name. But I will, don't forget, you guys that are calling your
That person is smart. They're trying to act smart, but it's too late for them because when you send your contribution, no matter what you do, that name will show in the banking system because your card is associated with that. So by you see, you don't want to mention your name, you're just wasting your time. These people are dealing with a professional criminal. They are working with a professional scammer, and they think they're going to blindfold. Let me use the way back terminology. They think they are going to blindfold the American people in this country. They are seriously making the mistake. Yes, they are seriously making a mistake. This guy is a scammer. He's a scammer. So you need to share the video here. He's a scammer. Listen to him again.
name will still reach out to you. We are creating a group here. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, is this Paul?
This is Spoon, my brother. How you doing?
Okay, who am I talking to?
Hey, man. This is Stanton, Bo.
Oh, Stanton?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
You see, he admitting his name right now because he knows very well that he's going to jail. He knows that he has confessed to a crime, but he's trying to show to the authority in this country that I am not the only person. Y'all got to be checking all more Liberians in the country. All right? That's what he's trying to do. He's admitting himself. He's calling his name. This guy knows exactly what he's doing to these people. But you know what? We will counter this thing here. We will counter this thing. This topic here, we will not bring George Weah into the topic here. Let me come here tonight. Let me just say this thing here, folks. I know tonight we're supposed to have introduced George Weah for the Boakai. We're not going to do that. We will laser focus on this guy alone because the topic we're going to create a different topic here, all right? We'll create a different topic. So you're not going to see George Weah and Boakai here. No, we're not going to blend them together here. We got to stand alone on this topic and make sure that Stanton Witherspoon, the guy who have been caught into criminal behavior, all right? That is the guy that we're going to be focused on here. So we're not going to put the title here today. Yeah, we're not going to put the title here today to say these people here. No, we will re-title this thing here, all right? So let's listen to him continuously here. I'm going to step away here.
I want to make sure that the right place are sending it.
You're right. You're a smart man. This is Stanton, sir.
Okay, all right, then I'll get to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, bye-bye.
And one of the reasons he's calling his name now is because he knows that he had already been found guilty. Whatever he had, he's going to lose it. So what does he care? Donald Trump said, what do you have to lose? He ain't got nothing to lose already because he already went to court. He said, I'm guilty. All right, guys. Let me say good evening to every one of you guys there. Sorry for the delay. I have been trying to finish all my kids' homework and I couldn't just leave them alone, so I managed to finish their homework, and we are here. just to finish up the day. So I would like to say a very big thank you, and let's say thank you to this other J Randy here for filling in for me. Sometimes we have to make a reflection of our image or make a translation of our image, but it's just that when we have the translation, we have to have some type of differentiation. If we ever study common arithmetic that has to do with shifting, shift. You take a shift, let's say you take a square or a rectangular shift, and then the teacher asks you to translate that. You only moving that shift from the original position to a new location, but you're going to be taking some steps. And that's why this J. Randy was doing here. And he tried to fill it in for me. So I'd like to say good evening to every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. We got a few things to go over here today, and we will be out of here. So thank you very much, Mr. J. Randy, for filling in for your other J. Randy here. So I'm here. I'm in charge now. Again, guys, welcome to the show. My name is J. Randy. Of course, this is the guy that many people are afraid of on Facebook. I don't know why. And people are deleting me off their page. They're taking me off their page. I don't know I don't know what am I doing to them, folks. I don't know what I'm doing to them. And somebody sent me a Facebook request yesterday and say, "Oh, join the group they call on Fry FM." This morning when we got through with the comparison of Georgia and other, next thing I know, I'm out of there, and somebody went and removed me off the page. In fact, they took off my page from there. My post, they took it out. I don't know what they're doing those things for, but nothing going to stop us from doing what we're doing here, because we know in the end we are going to win. And matter of fact, I can see when I look at the people who are behind Joseph Boakai today, I see suffering in their future. I see hardship in their future. I see disappointment in their future. So my only advice to President Weah, the people depending on you right now, my brother, there are people in your circle that got these people in the street and saying all kinds of things to you, Mr. Weah. It is my understanding that you're in America here, and every time I address the thing from now you leave from here, I'll be speaking directly to you, Mr. President. I'll be speaking directly to you. Your legacy is at the crossroad right now. Do I feel hurt? Absolutely, I feel hurt. Why do I feel hurt? I feel hurt because in 2017, when we make our commitment to getting the Liberian people on your side, you had done some things, but the leftover things, they are in a very, very, I won't say low risk, high risk, but it is in a medium risk. And when something is the medium risk, there is a tendency for it to go up to become a severe risk, and there is a tendency for it to come down to become a low risk. And it's in the medium risk. It can get fixed, but again, it's in the medium risk. It can get fixed, but again, in the medium risk. Well, hold on here. What's going on here? Something is not right here. Hold on, guys. Let me see something here. Where's my earpiece? Right here. I'm hearing some kind of squeaking noise here. I just want to make sure something else is not running that is creating the interference. If so, then I have to make some adjustment here. So let me how do you call it? All right, let me see. I think it is making good. Yeah, so I think that the frequency was coming from the phone here. All right, so I am good here. So as I was saying to the president and to every Liberians, I'm not going to say to sedition. I think using that phrase sedition is kind of singling out the sedition here, which I think I shouldn't be using most of the time. Even though I feel sometimes to address them in that way, because I can better relate to them than to any other partisan. So let me just make a few adjustments here, and then we'll be getting, because when I'm podcasting, I like to see myself and get to see how things look like here. So let me just get in here, and let me say hi to every one of you guys there. All right, good. I see myself here. I'll see myself right here. Yes, I can see myself here. Let me just show you guys what I have here right now for you guys here. Okay, so right here I can see myself right here. Yeah, so that is just something that I like to do so I can see myself and you guys, just how you guys are watching me and stuff like that. All right. All right. So let me just. You'll be getting that interference, so I'm going to lower this thing here so I can see myself. So yeah, as I was saying, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to every one of you guys. Again, let me apologize for coming on so late. So please share the video. I see my friends on YouTube. I'm getting to love the people on YouTube than the people on the regular Facebook because YouTube number keep going up, and you guys are not doing so well with the number here on how they call it on Facebook. So I think I'll be more interested with the people on the YouTube rather than the people on Facebook. Yeah, so not don't get too jealous here because YouTube is very big, and you know they're very big, and we just got 10,000 views just within the month of August. We got 10,000 views. That's something that I think I have been missing out on. So Facebook guys, you try to do the best you can. Sedition, you gotta rather your support. You start being hiding in the corner. You gotta stand your ground. You got a few days, and you know, to election. So if you don't come here to get yourself well prepared to make the case, well, the election is here. It's after every 6 years that this thing come about. The reason the people are blocking me, they know because when my message get out there, it is very strong. I don't know I don't know Fry FM, and you know, as in FRIES. Somebody sent it to me, and I decided to post on their page. The next thing I know, they are blocking me. Yes, they are blocking me and telling me, "Oh, don't spread his message. Don't do this." I mean, what did I do to them? I didn't do anything to them, but I just feel that excuse me. I just feel that my presence is very uncomfortable for these guys around here. Yeah, it is very, very uncomfortable. And I will tell you why. I will tell you why it is very, very uncomfortable for them because I have come to some realization that when I tell you guys that Liberia is not going to be anytime better soon till 2065 or beginning 2065, I don't want you to just write me off. I want you to understand what I am saying. Do not write me off. Rather, understand what I am saying. If you understand the substances in what I'm saying, then of course you will know why I'm saying that Liberia will not be better until 2065. And please bear with me. I don't mean to, and you know, to take my eyes off the camera. I'm sharing my podcast here, and I just ask that you guys do it too. And you know, and let's get the ball rolling here. And you know, every time people will add me to a group, but then the moment I share with them, and the topic is not in their interest, the next thing I know, they are blocking me, and you know, and things like that. All right, somebody. What Vivian say here again? Vivian, what you say here again? Vivian, you better come pick on me again, Vivian. What are you saying here again? Because I'm praising the people on YouTube now. I'm loving YouTube now, Vivian. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yes, I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm loving YouTube right now, but I will still hold on to you guys. I will still hold on to you guys. So yeah, so guys, before I get into the real issue here today, let me say this here. I started Liberian politics in 2010. I don't know where many of you guys were at that time, but I felt that it was very important for me to engage myself into Liberian politics, to understand the post-war era, to determine the mindset of the leaders that came after the war, and see how well they're going to move the country in the direction that will make Liberia better. Today, I find we have come now, after 18 years of democratic engagement with the people and the country and the leaders. I see today that the country is still at the intersection of whether we want to make progress or we want to remain unchanged or we want to digress to where we came from. Those are the three indicators that I see today in our country. When we stand at the intersection, do we make forward movement to improve what we acquire from the war and the international community, or do we remain to where we are for a very long period of time, where our country age will continue to increase, but there will be no substantial development that we will be proud of. But in the process of doing that, there will be many generations coming in and out, but we will not realize anything. Or are we willing to go back, going back to where we were before the war came, or where we were during the war time? So those are the three indicators we have right now. Looking at the distribution of the blame, one, I blame Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Boakai and the Unity Party. What you see happening in the country over there, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is a major contributing factor to the problem. Why it is true that she's been gone for a very long time? When things go wrong and you bring somebody to recalibrate, think about your car. The moment you take that battery out of your car, everything goes blank. When you put in a new battery, it starts over. When Ellen took office, the country felt the need for a change. And the international community came to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You will imagine that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, of all people, will begin to put in place structure, standards, policy, new laws, regulation to regulate activities, and then look at the sectors that have been performing poorly and begin to strengthen them. What Ellen did, nobody has been able in the country, whether it's from the university, from a private institution, for integrity and standard. No institution in our country ever came out with the post-Ellen Johnson Sirleaf 12-year administration, whether they're looking at social economic progress or looking at other aspects of the country, to come up with a comprehensive report and say, this is what we have gathered from the Ellen 12-year administration. Nobody said that. And as a data-driven person, I cannot make decisions in the absence of data. I cannot provide informed information in the absence of data, because these things must be supported by data. If you're a football player, when the squatting coach come on the field or the squatter come on the field, he's going to watch every player, and then he's going to keep a track. If you went to the hospital to seek any medical concern that happening to you, they're going to draw your blood. The purpose of drawing your blood is to determine what is in your blood and what information can be gathered in the form of data to begin to look for the solution. So there's nothing in the world that will develop a plan without a reason that will be supported by data. Ellen came to power. She saw the country was in complete disarray. She did not conduct an assessment that will focus on the need and the gap and what needed to be done. She wouldn't fill in places and have people doing what they thought they were doing the right thing, and all hell broke loose. We end up understanding that billions of dollars was spent in the country, but when you look at the things today, it become a problem. Do you think just under George we have 6 years, why you think people are talking about today, it came just under 6 years? If you think that is so, then why after 176 years there are things in the country that we are yet to understand why things had never changed in the country? This is what we call a sample representation of a very poor management of a country. That's why it is. You want to take one section of the country, 6 years, and want to say it's George Weah fault. But there's an idea behind that. And the idea is driven by illiteracy. Because illiteracy is the root cause of our problem in our country. The illiteracy that condition our people to think poorly, to condition our people to look at loyalty rather than being Liberia-centric. And this is going to go on because it has been going on for a very long time. The reason today across the different counties in the country why your auntie, your uncle who are in their 60s, in their 70s are not educated today, it is a fundamental, intentional, disenfranchised policy that will put in place. Keep them poorer, keep them uneducated, they will become loyal to us. And that strategy works because when you look across the country, people are masquerading around with nothing. I listened to a few guys today having an interchange, a conversation to understand the common mindset of the Irish guy. Because most of the people in Liberia are between the age of 18 to 37. That is the range of more young people in the country. This guy walked up to another guy and the guy asked him, why do you think Boakai should be president? He said, because Tobo spent 19 years in office, he gained a lot of experience. So Boakai being with Ellen, he gained a lot of experience. And that's why I qualified Boakai. You feel me here, folks? That is the idea they're going with now. Now, let me ask you this question. Those of you that live in the advanced world, those of you that back home, who have some knowledge of understanding things, if somebody walk up to you and say, you know what make the guy good at being on the team for Lone Star? Oh, the man play with George Weah. He played for Barry, he played for IE for 12 years. And you know, they had guy that Solomon Sippel and they had guy that Washington played there. They were there too for all the years they played for Lone Star, so the man is qualified. If you have Liberian telling you that because Boakai said with Eddie for 12 years, and that's what made Boakai automatically to be president of Liberia, I don't need to tell you, you don't need to go to any school to understand that such a decision like that is already putting the country in a very bad state of position. And this is where we come in. And this is where we differ with many people who will say, by God, great thing will be better. Because when you listen to that guy telling the guy who asking the question that because Boakai spent 12 years with Ellen, it automatically make him to be qualified to be president of Liberia. If that's the mindset that they have implanted in the minds of these people, we got a long way to go. And for me, I see the Alpha generation as the only hope. But I see the Generation X, the Generation Y, and the Generation Z as a disappointed generation in our country. They are a complete mirror image of the pioneer generation. These young guys today who are between the age of 18 to 37, if they cannot understand one issue in the country, to say, you know what, I think I trust Joe Boakai, because when Boakai was at LPMC, he did things that changed the agricultural sector around. My parent benefited from that. My uncle, my aunt benefited from that. They are not giving any reason that Boakai should be president other than being a guy with 45 years of experience according to them, but there is nothing attached to the 45 years. All I can say to you guys, good luck. If Mr. Weah is not elected, good luck with the country. And there should be nobody, because I'm going to put a very high price tag on myself. What do I mean by that? If the Liberian people made the wrong decision and put the wrong person there, the reason I'm going to put a high tag on my price, if anything go wrong in the country, I'm not going to come here to shed tears. I'm going to come here and be very tough. I'm going to make people to understand and to hit me more. Because you are seeing mistake that is being made right now before your eyes. Liberians back home and Liberians here who supporting the opposition, mainly the Unity Party, are only supporting it based on emotional hate. Emotional hate. Let's start with America first. You got a criminal in this country by the name of Stanton Witherspoon. Let's just go back to Stanton Witherspoon and look at what he had done from the family side of him first. Listen to this here, folks.
What happened? That's my question. That's my question I have today. What happened? Yes. What happened to our grandfather money that Stanton collected? What happened to it? Number one, three questions. What happened to our grandfather hospital case?
Charity began at home. This man's father came in this country, tried to put himself on life insurance, because fundamentally in Africa, many African countries don't believe that people should put themselves on, and how they call it, left insurance, because that thing to them is something that they don't believe in. But in the United States and other developed countries, people gain wealth and pass wealth up to their offspring by engaging themselves into life insurance. I often tell you guys that you will go to work, they will ask you to pay for your insurance for yourself. They will ask you to pay for your car insurance, your home insurance, your rental insurance. They will ask you for other insurance. But one insurance they don't force you to get is your life insurance. Why? Because the life insurance is money that you put into an account that when something happens to you, your family will benefit. The life insurance, the other insurance that you get given is given back to the government, because the government is using that money to fund other things into the country. For example, all the taxes we pay here, how you think Aetna or Blue Cross, Blue Shield, how you think they're giving you insurance? The money you take, you put it into the federal tax system. They take that money, they fund it into different healthcare and other programs, and it come back to you. And then when you do your co-payment, and you pay again, the money in circle. That's how it runs. And that's why they are asking you to carry on all the mandatory payment that go to the government. You see, the government is the bigger business, but they put before you that they are not in the business of taking money from you, but they do it through a very strategic way. Let's put that on hold right now. When you look at this guy here, has some relationship with Stanton Witherspoon, and telling you between the family tree, all right, that Stanton did something very nasty to them. If the man can cheat his own family, who else will he have any patience for or any consideration for? Let's listen to him here. So his father got on life insurance, hoping that when he dies, and may his soul rest in peace, because according to the brother, and the father passed, or whoever the guy is, but he's a relative to the Stanton family. And after the old man died, there was some legal action taken, because you know America is a country of law. You break the law, you pay for the crime or the mistake you made. So this kid, from my understanding, he seems to be that somebody who was kept in the blind. But as the children grow up in this country, their minds are open, their eyes are open, and their understanding improved. He got to find out that something went wrong, and he decided to bring this thing up to the social media. But many of you guys overlook it. And today, many Liberians are still overlooking it. And the Unity Party are in bed with a criminal. Let's listen to what he says here.
The operator on our grandfather, they messed up. That's one case. Number two, what happened to our grandfather nursing home case? They didn't take care of our grandfather good, and something happened at that nursing home. The Papi had sore all his body. The Papi's situation was worse. Something happened at that nursing home. That was a nursing home case. What happened to that case? Also, what happened to our grandfather life insurance?
And everything the kid is talking about, it has nothing to do with maybe family property. Again, it's money. Stanton Witherspoon screwed his family up with money. He went and got into fraudulent activities, setting fake degree for money. He is trying to prove to the people of Liberia that he is not going to jail, even though he went to Florida and confessed that he is guilty of wire fraud, the terminology for money laundering. Yesterday, or day before yesterday, we saw Liberians again, Stanton Witherspoon opening himself and giving fake numbers to collect money. One thing that I would say to you, if you want to work with Stanton Witherspoon, unless you have decided to give away your life, he cannot be trusted because he's already damaged in this country. He's already damaged in the country. That's who he is. And this is the man. Let's just thank the guy here so much for being here. Thank you, my friend. We're going to remove you now. This man is telling Liberians that he can do whatever he wants to do in this country. But he's not telling the truth to the Liberian people what has happened to him in Florida. But here is what I want you guys to understand about him. Let's watch the video here quickly here. This is America. This is not somewhere else. Stanton Witherspoon has no legal privilege in this country. He is a criminal that tried to undermine the healthcare system in this country. Watch.
2 Burlington County residents are among 25 people charged with. But the big story on Action News tonight is
the people telling you that it's a big story on Action News. Whenever the American media comes out and say big story, in the Liberian people's eyes, it's not relevant because most of the people who follow the wrong path of people, they don't educate them on what it means, the weight, the gravity that some of these things put on people in this country. This guy is about to give the news and said, big news. That's not something to take for fun. Let's listen to what he's going to say here.
the local connection to what federal investigators call a massive scheme to sell fake nursing degrees. We learned today that 2 Burlington County residents are among 25 people charged with operating the nationwide ring. Now, according to investigators, the group peddled more than 7,000 bogus degrees and nursing certificates to the tune of more than $100 million. Action News reporter John Paul joining us live in Camden tonight. And John, the feds say some of these fake nurses put real patients in danger.
Yeah, and that is the real concern tonight, Brian, that they may not have the background to actually treat people in a hospital type setting. I've confirmed tonight that Delaware actually annulled the licenses of 26 nurses already. And the feds tonight, they're charging people across the country, including 2 in South Jersey.
All of us feel this is egregious.
Strong words from the executive director of Delaware's Board of Nursing after learning of a massive scheme out of Florida to sell fake nursing degrees. And tonight, we've confirmed 26 nurses in Delaware had their licenses annulled in connection to the fake degrees.
These people who went to these Florida schools did not complete the curriculum, the education, and the clinical training that is required of all nurses to be eligible to sit to take their licensure exam and to be licensed as a nurse.
She says there are no reports of patients being harmed, but tonight 25 people across the country face charges for their involvement in the scheme that brought in more than $100 million, including Stanton Witherspoon and Alfred Sellew of Burlington County, New Jersey.
He's home? Okay. Can we talk to him?
We tracked.
That man there, that's the man there. The media went to your house. This is the man who will come to the Liberian people and say, oh yeah, the government this, the government in Liberia this. The white man come to your house. He can't come outside. He don't have anything between his legs to say he man. The white man come to your house, he can't come outside. And now you see when I tell you that when the white man show up, the black man run away. The white man show up now, he can't come outside. I triple dare him. I quadruple dare him to come outside. He can't come outside. But this is the man when he come to Liberia now, he say, look, I always tell the white man will win, folks. I always tell the white man on the platform will always win. The white man show up, they run away. He run away. And you know when the white man come to your house, you come outside because your conscience is clear. That's why you get in your car every day you go to work. That's why you obey the rules in the town here. That make the white man to be afraid of you. If you educate yourself and you do the right thing, the white man see to respect you. There are some Liberians in the country who the white men respect a lot, but not Stanton Witherspoon. There go how over there, the white man waiting for him. He can't come outside. But this is the man who will want to come and tell the Liberian, oh, the people started giving the people jokes. The man here also selling the wrong fake degree to kill Americans in the country. And nobody understanding it. A man who gave fake nursing degree that when you take your uncle, your aunt, and the people will get in the wrong drugs to kill them. And because of that, the FBI intervened. And the man coming and telling you in Liberia that somebody doing bad thing and you're ignoring the man here. That is the complexity or complacency of Liberians when they're in the hands of the white man. You know, many Liberians feel that in this country here, I don't have to worry about anything because I'm protected here. So whatever Stanton tell me, I will agree to it. But we will make sure that Stanton Witherspoon is being known to the few people we have here and on to Facebook that Stanton Witherspoon is a criminal. He is a fraudster and he is a con man. Nobody, if you listen to me on YouTube right now, there's a gentleman who was engaged into fake credential. He is a Liberian / an American citizen. He is still soliciting money from other people in this country. Be aware of him. He's very, very dangerous. He does not believe in fair play. He does not believe in the American dream. He is a guy who wants to take shortcut. Thank God the number is going up. We want to make sure that by the end of September, our number will go up to another 10,000 to make that 20,000. YouTube is a very big platform and will do everything possible to spread the message to the world out there that there is a guy from Liberia who lived in the United States that was caught red-handed selling and issuing fake credential in the form of nursing degree, bypassing the system. He had been federally indicted. He went to the court last month and told the judge that he's guilty and his sentence, I believe, is in November. And I hope that the judge will do the right thing to set an example. Because there are people in this country from Liberia that are trying to support this guy's idea. but it is not all Liberians. And I want people to understand there are honest Liberians in the country who work hard for their money, who go to school and make sure that they follow every curriculum to acquire their degree. But there are some here that also want to join Stanton Witherspoon by taking shortcut, and we want to make sure that Liberians are not in majority that follow Mr. Witherspoon. Let that be clear. All right. So let's listen again to what this guy is saying here. Let's make progress here.
Down Witherspoon at his home in Burlington today, but family members said he couldn't talk. Over the phone, he told me he had to check in with his lawyer. Wednesday night, the Department of Justice released findings of what was dubbed Operation Nightingale.
When we talk about a nurse's education and credentials, shortcut is not a word we want to use.
Now the FBI is working to notify state nursing boards to ensure that unqualified nurses are not working in healthcare.
You're playing with people's health. How dare you play with someone's health like that?
If you find a Liberian people talking to that lady, then you must clap for that person. You have a bunch of Liberians calling on that man's show and not thinking what that woman said. How dare you play with people's lives? Many of your brothers and sisters don't understand those things. They were there supporting that man. This guy they call Stanton Witherspoon, nobody should ever think about thinking about him. Because you know what? Stanton Witherspoon is nobody but a corrupt individual. I don't think I have him here this evening because I think I removed him already. Yeah, he is a very corrupt individual. Nobody should do any business with. You doing business with Stanton Witherspoon, you are putting yourself at the greater risk of either being deported or being thrown in jail for a long period of time. The man is using you guys by telling the people out there who watching him that I am not the only person here. There are more Liberians. Come on my show. You will see Liberians who are doing the same thing as me. That's what Stanton is doing to these people. He got no feeling for them. He did it to his own family people. You think he care about bringing people on his platform and showing their faces on his platform to the people out there? What do they say? All birds are the same color flies together, right? One of these days, you will start to see the news and they will say, oh, the FBI went to the person who was here. Don't be surprised. I'm telling you guys today. One of these days, FBI will start knocking on some Liberian people door and begin to ask them questions. Don't be surprised. And I hope that when it happens, they will come out here to tell us. So I just want to make sure that Liberians understand that. All right? So let's make progress here, folks. Let us make progress here because we got a long way to go. Now, let us look at Joe Boakai today. All right? Let's look at Joe Boakai today.
You can afford.
Let's look at Joe Boakai today. Do you really think that Joe Boakai can be president of that country? Let's be honest here. Do you really think that Joe Boakai can be president of that country? It will be one of the saddest mistakes. Even the devil in hell does not approve of Joe Boakai being president in our country. I may not be in favor of George Weah 100% because of what Mr. Weah did to some of us who campaigned for him. But when it comes to making a selection right now in this election, if I were to choose, I would rather ask Liberian to stay with George Weah. George Weah can be fixed. Boakai is unfixable. If Boakai can sit down and bring a lot of criminals, some of you guys are not cataloging what Boakai is doing. Boakai is a very desperate politician, and his desperation is to take Liberia back. Let me say this again. Boakai's desperation is to take Liberia back to where we are coming from. Boakai is not a man who's supposed to go forward. Boakai was rejected by Samuel Canyon Doe. He was fired by Amos Sawyer. Eddie Johnson said he did not trust Boakai because Boakai has no spirit to lead. Today, Boakai is not only disrespecting our Constitution. Boakai is not only disrespecting the people who died, the 250,000 people. Boakai look at all the catastrophe that we went through and decided to bring a guy by the name of Prince Johnson. Now, people will say, but Jay Randy, Prince Johnson was with Ellen, Prince Johnson was with Joshua. Let me tell you why. When Prince Johnson was with Ellen, Liberians say, you know why? We will accept that. The international community say, you know what? As long he is a senator on the ground, we're okay with that. The international community did not stop Prince Johnson from being elected as senator. They did not stop him from working with Ellen. Prince Johnson came and supported Joshua. The American government did not stop him. The people of Liberia did not stop him. The moment Prince Johnson was put on the Armed Service Committee, the American government said, all politics should be local. They sanctioned Vani Sherman. They sanctioned Prince Johnson. They sanctioned Nathaniel McGill. They sanctioned Serena Seaford. And they sanctioned Bill Twawe. And the American came out and said, anyone who does business with these people, we're not going to work with you. Do you know what Joe Boakai did? Joe Boakai said, I don't give a damn about American people. I'm going to bring Prince Johnson. We're going to take picture. He's going to make recommendation to me. And I'm going to take it. Do you think the American going to sit in that country to see Joseph Boakai becoming president? Let me give you one revelation so you can remember tonight. What is tonight? Tonight is the 17th of September 2023. Let J. Randy release something important to you. If you ever think the reason why the American want to have access to that election result, if you ever think it's because of Joe Boakai, one day you will say J. Randy was right. I will just leave it as that. Keep this today. Keep this today. If you ever think that when Patrick Honda say, oh, the American want to have access to the election, keep this today. Joe Boakai has already defeated himself. One, by disregarding the American foreign policy and taking somebody from Prince Johnson camp, a man who is allegedly and is confirmed allegedly who participated in the death of 5 nuns in our country, killed a president, killed innocent people, a man who had been sanctioned, and on top of that sanction, they told him not to engage with any other politician or neither politician, nobody should do business with him. And Boakai took upon himself and decided to work with Prince Johnson. You think as desperate as Mr. Cummings is, he couldn't run to Prince Johnson? Because Cummings understands the mindset of the American people. So let Joe Boakai sit over there and be passing it around thinking that he's going to be president. Joe Boakai will get the shock of his life after October the 10th. He will not be president of that country. Take the video today and mark it. Take the video today and mark it. The decision Joe Boakai had made by bringing Prince Johnson in his circle, take it from me, is going to hit him hard. Now, Joe Boakai is overlooking that, but he becoming very desperate for criminals. Another guy who had been guilty or admitted to guilt in this country by the name of Stanton Witherspoon, a man who tried to undermine the nursing structure in this country. He had been found guilty. And before he was even being found guilty, he ran to the court and said, I am guilty. And the people took away all the privileges that any one of you guys enjoy in the country today. And guess what? Boakai is bringing that man on board. Liberians, when the water getting hot, you will start to see the steam, the bubble will start coming up because it's about to boil over. Joseph Boakai is the axis of evil that is trying to turn our country into something else. Joe Boakai is trying to destroy Liberia. Let me tell you right now. Joseph Boakai is about to destroy Liberia. Whatever, whether it is Ellen put together, whatever we is doing, Joseph Boakai is coming to do the worst. That is why Joseph Boakai intention is, and that's what he's trying to do. A man who is looking at criminals across that country and outside the country and making them his friends. Making them his friends. You see, George Weah was in the company of Prince Johnson. But the moment the American, they said Prince Johnson had been sanctioned, Mr. Weah, and he listened to the U.S. ambassador. Joseph Boakai today spoke about the U.S. ambassador. And we're going to play that here. When the U.S. ambassador came out and said, we will not encourage anyone who, we will not work with anyone who engaged into the guy who had been put on sanction. Joseph Boakai looked in the eyes of that man and brought Prince Johnson and took a photo with Prince Johnson as a political opposition who want to be president. Do you think that the Americans are not watching Joseph Boakai? Do you see Prince Johnson as somebody who is friend with the West? With the kind of nasty thing he's saying? And now he's out there campaigning for Joe Boakai. Do you think the Americans stupid? Some of you guys will get a shock of your life after the election. Your mouth will be open like day when the addict get all ready for the boy to come and pick a teeth. I just looking at some of you guys around here. But mark this thing today. September 17, 2023. Mark this video. After the election, you will come back and say, J. Randy, you were right. You were right. Mark this election. Joe Boakai is not going to win any election. You can fill that stadium up. You can fill the whole street up. The decision that defeated Joe Boakai came from his connection with Prince Johnson. It is done. Joseph Boakai is paving the way for George Weah to become president. He already sold that Unity Party ticket long time ago. He just pretending before the Liberian people. That is why when Joe Boakai go on any stage, do you really hear Joe Boakai telling you about his experience with LPMC? Let me show you guys a few things here about Joe Boakai here so you can get to understand here. All right, let's go back here. When Joe Boakai worked for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, all right, this is what Joe Boakai position. This is what Joe Boakai did here. All right. These are Joe Boakai record here. All right. When Joe Boakai worked for Ellen, here was Joe Boakai responsibility. Joseph Boakai served as the 29th Vice President of Liberia from 2006 to 2018 under President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Now, when Joseph Boakai tells you he's an old car park, he is lying not only to himself, but to the God that brought him on the face of the planet. Here are some of the functions that Joseph Boakai had with himself. 1. Joseph Boakai, during his tenure, he presided over the plenary section of the Liberian Senate 2 times each week. That was a function. Aside from that, Joe Boakai was a supervisor that was engaged in the function over several institutions and agencies, including the Liberia National Lotteries, the Liberia Marketing Association, the Liberian Agency for Community Empowerment, and the Liberian National Commission on Disarmament, Demobilization, and Resettlement and Reintegration. This is the Joseph Boakai man that will come here today and can tell you, say, oh, I will buy like an old car. The old man is not only dishonest, the old man is not only incompetent, but he is very, very deceitful. He is deceitful. You take this thing here. Those of you that are watching here today, take the thing and carry Joseph Boakai. When Joe Boakai take to the stage to talk, do you hear him telling you about what he has achieved? Do you hear him telling you what he has achieved when he was working for Ellen? No, he will not tell you. Let's see what he had done here too when he was at LPMC here. I don't know what I have here because this morning we discussed that here. Do you think Joe Boakai will come and tell you guys? Those are the function of Joseph Boakai when he was under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. But when he take to the stage, when you hear the young children and community empowerment, how many people on the street do you hear? How many people on the street do you hear telling you that, oh, when Joe Boakai was in charge of the different agency and had the responsibility? When last did Joe Boakai sit down with the marketeers during Ellington to address some of the situation in the country that you saw? This man is so incompetent that he does not know his way around. You think Morovia, with a handful of people showing or that complex over there, you think you're going to win anything? I may not be in Georgia corner. Because the way Georgia treated some of us. But when I saw that crowd today, nothing moved me. Nothing moved me. As a man who look at it and make prediction, when I saw that crowd today, nothing moved me. There were a lot of people in that crowd. My spirit was telling me, say they were paid. They were paid. Liberian people are afraid of rain. But to find Liberian men in the rain today, it must be for something. Those people were paid. Those are not real Unity Party partisan. They were paid. They were rented. They were rented. A true partisan will not fight how to go in the rain. Because you know what? He know he candidate always going to win. But people who are paid, how many of you guys here today will not go to work in America when it's raining? Because you got to get your paycheck. You got to get your paycheck when it's raining. Those guys were already paid to go and show up over there. That's why they were showing up. That's why they were showing up. A man who sat down for 6 years under Georgia administration lied to the Liberian people, say he was parked as an old car, and you just saw him here. What did he show to you guys? Let me show you guys again what Joe Boakai has done when it comes to lying to the Liberian people. Let me show you guys again. Some of you guys that missed Joe Boakai this morning, let me show you guys what Joe Boakai has done. Joe Boakai is a very, very dishonest man. You know that the man is stealing from George Weah platform and stuff like that. Do you guys know that? How many of you guys know that? That Joe Boakai is stealing from George Weah and he got a fake page out there. Let's get into some detail here. Jeff House Stanton Witherspoon is fake. That is how Joe Boakai is fake. That man is about to destroy that country. And God will not allow Joe Boakai to destroy Liberia because the blood that was shared by many people in our country, Joe Boakai will not make those people to turn around in their grave. Let's look at some detail here right now. All right. Joe Boakai has hired John Molu to be his what? His campaign technology guy. With all due respect to John Molu, he dropped the ball on this one here because we all live in the freaking country called America, and we will not sit here for John Molu to come and put crap together thinking that he will get away with it here. With all due respect to John Molu, who I really respect dearly, but my friend, John Molu, you this one here, you got it wrong for Boakai. This one is wrong for Boakai, my friend. I'm going to tell you this one right now. You are absolutely wrong. So, folks, you look at that page there, right? Let me just try to adjust a few things here. Let me come back to the page here so that we can go through some details. Those of you guys that saw the rerun, I saw the thing this morning, I know you just laugh me and say, hey, Jay, Randy, come here again. Yes. But for those that just coming here, welcome to the party. This is what we do here. So this is Jeremiah Kuhn and fake Joseph Boakai picture here. What am I doing here? I have to be on a Joe Boakai. Hold on, let me just get myself in here in the meter. Let me get myself in here. I can't be on a Joe Boakai like that. No. All right. This is Joe Boakai here. Let's take the thing from here. You see the page here, folks? You see the page, right? This is Joe Boakai page here. Now, let me go into the other screen where I can interact with the page, all right? Let me get to that screen there. I think it might be the screen here if I'm not mistaken. No, let's go to the other screen. It already live for you guys. Let me go to the screen itself, the page itself, so that I can interact with the page, all right? So let's go to the page. We are now in the page. So you will see me moving the elevator slide here, and you will see it moving in your screen a few seconds from now. There you go. Now that we're on the same page, look at Joe Boakai. First of all, they put a very fake picture of Joe Boakai here. That's how the man is lying to the Liberian people. Prince Johnson lied to the people of Nima County. Stanton Witherspoon lied to the American people and to the Liberian people. Joe Boakai on his own page is not showing his own picture. That's how dishonest the old man is. That's how he lie. That's how he cheat. That's how he is. The only person picture that little bit correct here, that the other man they call Jeremiah Kun, but he fucked up. Now, let's come to what Joe Boakai mean by key investment focus. Watch this here. Joe Boakai said he's going to focus on key investment. All right, let's come here. Who is this person here? You will imagine that Joe Boakai, who said that he is a guru, a tycoon in the agriculture sector. You will imagine that Joe Boakai will be able to show you images of his work that he did at LPMC, his work that he did as Minister of Agriculture, but that is not true. But when we right click here and go to Google image and click Google image and say where the source coming from for the picture here, when we click on this here, see where the picture coming from. Joe Boakai went and stole the image here from a place called, or how they call it, the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. That is where Joe Boakai took the image from. How can you say you are a business tycoon, a agriculture tycoon, and there is nothing that Joe Boakai can show? That's how Joe Boakai and his people then lying. Stanton Witherspoon is just a mere associate degree holder. He got no clue about what I'm talking about here. But guess what? There are Liberians out there who are living with illiteracy. Few of them. They will believe in the crap that Stanton Witherspoon telling them. Does this picture here resemble anything on Joseph Boakai work? When Joseph Boakai tell you that he going to provide agriculture and he cannot list anything for you guys here? Nothing. What happened to any reading on LPMC? What happened to any reading as Minister of Agriculture, who were in charge of the, how they call it, the Agriculture Development Bank, who were in charge of the Liberia Produce Marketing Corporation, who were in charge of CARI, the Research Center for Better Agriculture? Joe Boakai were all those things. Why aren't we reading anything on Joseph Boakai agriculture plan? Because there is nothing that Joseph Boakai did in the agriculture sector. Let's move down the horn here, folks. Let's move down the horn here. Joe Boakai talk about road. Did you see Joe Boakai and Ellie building the road here? Nothing. Let's click on the road and see under who administration the road came about here. Click on this. No, we don't want the Q code here, all right? No, I do not want the QR code here. I want to search the Google image here and see the source of this. Let's click on the source here again. Let's see it. Voila. We see something here, right here. Let's open this out here. Where is it coming from? No, let's get out of here. We're in the wrong screen here, folks. Let's get one. We shouldn't get one ourselves here. Let's come back here. Let's come back to the first image right here. All right. Let's come back to the first image here and click here. It's coming back to his own page again. Yeah, let's go back here. Let's click back here again. Let's go back to the source. In fact, let's scroll down a little bit here. Let us scroll down here. Yeah, let's scroll down here and see where this is coming from. So this is the highway here. Let's click on this highway here and see where is it coming from. All right. So this is where it's coming from here. All right. Now, you see down here, democracy can be a bit embarrassing out there. So let's see here. Joe Boakai has copied this thing here from the Liberian government, but I think it came from the Liberian News Agency. Let me go back here. There is somewhere here that I want to show you guys where he got this image from. Let's see here. Let's go back here and focus on this picture here. Let me see here. When I click here, let's click back here. We should have an image here. They probably did something to it today. For those of you that were here, you know what I'm talking about. They quick to change things. Whatever I did, very good. They brought it down here, but we'll catch it right here. Click right here, folks. You're the same row here. Watch the image that is coming out here, folks. Watch this image here. Do you see George, we have page here? Yes. Let's go down here. You see the road. You see that? This is the road that George Weah had paved up to standard. And this was done on February 19, 2020. That is the road that Joe Boakai took and put on his freaking page. Excuse for my French. All right? You can see Cloud Weah, everybody running here. That is what Joe Boakai did. So when you come back to Joe Boakai telling you, say, he will invest into road, he stole that thing from George Weah. All right? Now, let's come back to education here. When we click here and go to the queue and go to the search here and look for, find the image, where the image coming from. Let's click here and let's see where Joe Boakai got this thing from. Right here. Joseph Boakai went and got this thing here from Ed System, Educational System Center, Northern Illinois University. Why would a man go to Northern Illinois University to get this thing and he came and crap this thing together here? This guy is a crook. You see, do you see any librarian student here? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is what Joe Boakai and Joe Molu has done to present themselves out here. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news here, folks. Now, let's come down here. You see, Joe Boakai talk about sanitation, which is so poor. Sanitation is a subset of the healthcare sector. So if Joe Boakai telling you that only sanitation he will take care of, it's like a player that's sitting on the sub bench and the coach telling him, my man, the team will got it right on the sub bench. No, you got to have your 11 player on the field. The health sector include sanitation. So if Joe Boakai telling you that only sanitation you're going to take care of, I feel sorry for you that will get sick. But that is not the issue here. Let's click on this thing here again, folks. And I hope you guys are learning from this thing here too. So let's click here. And when we click here, let's find the source of the image. Find the source. Who behind the source? When you click here, you imagine that Joe Boakai will bring any project that will show that they did the project. But that is not so. That is not true. What we see here, Samaritan Purse. Why would Joe Boakai take Samaritan Purse? Matter of fact, this image here was uploaded during the We Are administration just this year, March 21st. As you can see here, let me just highlight this thing here. Look on the top left corner there. You see me highlighting it there? Yes. March 21st, 2023, that when this image came out. Joe Boakai, without the people approval, he did not do any project for the people and took that thing and put it on his page. This is what we call copyright infringement. Yes, Joe Boakai is impersonating the web page because he cannot put these people work on his page. These people at NGO, they're supposed to be showing this thing there. You see here, the people say, well, give up money right here. Joe Boakai is using this people page, especially the photo, thinking that people will not know the connection here. But he got busted by me. That one of the reasons why they don't like me on their page, but I don't get for them about them. This is what your Joe Boakai has been doing for the time being. He got no record to run on, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph Boakai has no record to run on. So what is he doing? He is faking. Let's stop the share here and let's come back to our original broadcast as we started here. That's who Joe Boakai is, a very big scammer. He go out there and take people fake pages and put it together. Remember, Joe Boakai during his youth days, he never left that bad way behind him. Joe Boakai took a sick baby goat to a Fuller businessman. And the Fuller businessman looked at the baby goat and said the goat was sick. Joe Boakai went right back with his brother and told his brother to follow his lead. Joe Boakai went and gave the baby goat plenty water to drink with salt in it. And when the baby goat drank that water, the baby goat's stomach became very large. And he went back to the Fuller businessman and told the Fuller businessman, I have returned with a different billy goat. And the billy goat was looking so fat. And the Fuller businessman asked Joe Boakai, are you sure that this billy goat is not the same billy goat that you brought here earlier? Joe Boakai said no. The particular section of the video here, right now I'm at 1 hour and 48 minutes 22 seconds. Take the particular recording, care to Boakai, care to Henry Costa, and share with them. This story I'm telling you about the baby goat, it was told by Joe Boakai himself. But because Joe is a very dishonest man, he will not be so sure that it will be an open confession to tell the Liberian people. Let's get back to the story. Joe Boakai went and told his brother, we're taking the baby goat back. And his brother said, this is not fair. He told Henry Costa that he informed his brother to follow his lead. He said, I told him to follow my lead. They went back to the Fuller businessman. And Joe Boakai, knowingly, deliberately, sold that dead baby goat. He sold that dead baby goat. Because the baby goat was so dry and skinny that I would call it a dead baby goat. And he said the food man counted that money. I think it was $60. And the man gave him the money. And he told Costa, the moment the money came in my hand, I ran away from there. And the man asked him, why did you run away? Costa asked him, why did you run away? He said, because the billy go when a PPA was going to get dry. He ran away. Joe Boakai came in 2017 with that same billy go story. He got rejected because the story was not adding up. Today, Joe Boakai now is coming back with his own billy go story. Joe Boakai is sick. He's not feeling well. But he will go outside the country and get a Chinese steroid and pump himself with it. While he at it, the people start putting fake picture of Joe Boakai. Don't that fake picture almost look like Joe Boakai bringing a billy go back with a lot of salt water in it? When last have you seen Joe Boakai real picture online? Because that's who Joe Boakai is. He is coming back with a new billy goat to sell to the Liberian people. When you look at Joe Boakai page, he putting images out there. But those images belong to somebody else. It does not represent him. Whatever Joe Boakai touches, it is fake. It's never real. It is fake and never real. Whether he work at LPMC, he saw a billy goat that the people did not buy, to fire him. Whatever he saw at LPRC, that billy goat did not survive. It was poor. Amos Sawyer fire him. Whatever he did to Ellen did not trust him, and Ellen let him go. But you know what he did again? Every position that Joe Boakai got fired from, you know what he did? He blamed it on politics for political reason. For political reason. When Joe Boakai got defeated by George Weah in 2017, he took to the Magway, the airway, and said it was for political reason. When Joe Boakai get defeated this October, he going to tell the Liberian people that the people did not choose him for political reason. My point here is Joe Boakai does not take any responsibility. You see, the problem with Joe Boakai throughout his whole 45 years plus 12 years that equal to 57 years, Joseph Boakai never participated in any electoral process. From the day Joseph Boakai started working in government, he has always been appointed. So he never got used to playing political football. So when Ellen was leaving, Ellen told him, because Ellen knew Joe Boakai was weak, Ellen said, let go, Joe. But Joe said, no, I will stay. But because Joe had never participated in any election like the late Child Walker Brunsky, who was always a regular guy, and others like George Weah who participated, by the time the election came in 2017, Joe Boakai had started malfunctioning. The next thing you know, he was in a hospital. Because he never got used to that. All Joe Boakai public service positions have only been appointment. That is why when they joined the CPP, Joe Boakai knew his weakness. So he look at Yuri and look at others and say, the communist guy want to give me a hard time here. You know I got a hard problem. What kind of scam do we have for commies? Well, we say he fingered the document so he can run away. And that how come Joe Boakai came with that scam and you are willing to go to court to testify against commies. Because Joe Boakai had never gotten used to participating in any electoral process. When last did you hear Joe Boakai saying, oh, in this year I ran for the position and I lost, but I had the will? No. The man is a very weak man. The age should not deceive you. Joe Boakai is very incompetent. He's weak and he's exhausted already. So they brought that scheme on Cummings. And Cummings too, he's a guy that I don't listen to. He fell to that same thing. He left. And get how it works. Remember when Joe Boakai then went back with Nomdi Kanga and Yuri, what he said to the people? We're not going to have no primary here. Because that was Joe Boakai's weakness. We're not going to have no primary. But today Joe Boakai is stuck with the election to meet George Weah again. And that's why they're running around saying that, oh, the people going to cheat, the people going to cheat. Because they want for Joe Boakai to be comfortable. Because remember, Joe Boakai had never participated in any electoral process. So guess what? You got two people behind Joe Boakai. The society dropout and the blind loyalists. The guy that on a different platform today that's supporting Joe Boakai, they are society dropout. You got guy that Eugene Fagon. Now the third component to it, you got a lot of crooks. You got people who come to America that try to fake the system here. They are about to go to jail. They are added a third component there. We call the criminal Unity Party members. So they got the criminal Unity Party members. Joe Boakai is chairing a committee. You got the society dropout, like Eugene Fagon. Joe Boakai is chairing a committee. You got me the Mo Ali, then who will take all their pen along with Robert Powell, then those new same guys. Joe Boakai on a committee. So when you look at all Joe Boakai committee people, these are bad guys with bad attitude that got no intention for the country but themselves. And those are the people that Joe Boakai is bringing to the face. That's why you don't hear them saying anything positive about Joe Boakai. Nothing. They go out there and Joe Boakai will say nothing. But remember, Joe Boakai was with Ellen for 12 years. And there's nothing that Joe Boakai can tell you. A man who said he got 45-year experience. Listen to Joe Boakai here speak and see what we read. Before we go there, let's read again what Joe Boakai said here. All right? Let's listen to Joe Boakai here again. Let's read exactly what Joe Boakai did on early here. What it says here. Joseph Boakai served as the 29th Vice President of Liberia from 2006 to 2018 under President Eddie Johnson Sirleaf. Facts. During his tenure, he presided over plenary session of the Liberian Senate for 2 days each week and performed supervisory function over several institutions and agencies, including the Liberian National Lotteries, the Liberian Marketing Association, the Liberian Agency for Community Empowerment, and National Commission on Disarmament, Demobilization, Resettlement, and Reintegration. Those were the primary function of Joseph Boakai. Now, you imagine when Joseph Boakai come to the airway to campaign. These are things that he's supposed to be explaining to the people how he succeeded. Listen to Joe Boakai and hear what he will tell you here.
We want every capital in this country to have a TV station. We want them to be laid out. We want them to have a good football stadium. And have a lot to see people enjoy themselves.
So when remember, he chaired the committee on community empowerment, right? He supervised that. Why can't he say, you know what? When I was vice president, I chaired all the community engagement for empowerment, and we put football center all around. But guess what? When we are king, we are destroyed. He's not saying those things to you guys. He's not saying nothing to you guys. Because that's who Joe Boakai is. The man is the biggest scammer among all of them. Joe Boakai is a scammer. He's a scammer for that man. Stanton tried to scam the Liberian people and the American government. Prince Johnson is a scammer. You see how the thing working together now, folks? Joe Boakai scammer for that businessman or the better go. Stanton tried to scam people in this country by selling fake degree. Prince Johnson is a big scammer. He been scamming the Nima people for a very long time. How around you think those guys met together? All birds of the same color will fly together. That's who the guys are. And you think the people that fly in there, they don't know? No. Nobody Kanga is a scammer too. These are gangsters that are in the Unity Party that are ready to take the country behind. If you think that Joe Boakai is going to do better for Liberia, you might want to read down here. Joseph Boakai will destroy Liberia if we let him have state power. Now, let me say this to you guys. If you ever think that I'm in support of George, we are 100%, you are mistaken. I'm not in support of George, we are 100%. One, I sat on my butt, in my home, and campaigned for Joshua in 2017. Mr. Weah was not a people person to call me and say thank you. He never did that. I leave that with him and he go. Nevertheless, I believe in Mr. Weah. I know that there are people around him that are causing the problem here. that are causing the problem on Mr. Weir. Because when Mr. Weir decided to serve the people of Liberia, his intention was different. He came with a very clean heart, which I know and I understand. But I feel that people around Mr. Weir continue to blind him. Is he a bad guy? No, but he's not looking over his shoulder. People are blocking him and stopping him from looking up. Some of us out here. And that one of the reasons why I am tough on him and I'm not going to give him any time, any chance soon. But I will say this to Liberians. The Alpha generation is the generation that was born between 2013 and will be 2025. The only person that can take that generation to where Liberia is supposed to be, in my opinion, is nobody else but Mr. Weir. And I truly believe in that. He can be criticized and he will take the heat. But as far as Mr. Boakai or any other politician, I do not trust them. Why? Let's watch the little video here. Let me take a breather small and see what I mean that George Weir is the one that will take the Alpha generation. His mistake can be corrected. Yes, it can be corrected. Watch this video here, folks.
Thank you very much.
Now, as you watch the video, I will be asking questions to the Boakai supporter, to the Cummings supporter, and even to some of you guys. Because for me, my answer is, I was not there. That will be my part of the answer. So let me just put my own forward here. I was not there. Let's go ahead and listen.
When Arthur Ashe found fame, he did not close his eyes. He did not forget the many who could not share his fortune. When Arthur Ashe found fame, he used the equity of his celebrity to shine a light on ignorance and spark global understanding. Tonight, we honor another man who found fame and who chose not to forget, another man who begs the world to see and to understand. His name, like his country, may not be well known on this side of the Atlantic, but we're talking about a giant. His name is George Weah of Liberia. George Weah is one of the greatest soccer players of our time, from a nation where chaos has been the rule and where children are born killers. Spit upon, his house burned, risking death over and over again, George Weah has nonetheless gone home again and again and again. His relentless message of hope defies reason in an age of mindless terror and bottomless hatred. But this is a man born to be a striker, born to finish what he starts. George Weah refuses to close his eyes, and George Weah will never, ever let us forget how much work there is left to do.
Before we get to that video, first question number one. Did you hear the name of Boakai? Because this is where Liberia was turning itself. Did you hear the name of Boakai? No. Did you hear the name of Cummings? No. Did you hear the name of J. Randy? No. Did you hear the name of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? No. All right. Let me progress. Did you hear the name of my man V. Wese here? No. All right. Let me progress.
I'm 16 years old. I born 1988, October 22nd. I was a leader. I was major. I used to lead 31 men every day to the front. Yeah, I'm tired of fighting now because there's no answer to war. I want peace for everlasting. I want for peace to be in the country for everlasting.
It began in 1980 with an assassination and violent coup d'etat. The government, in place for 133 years, was overthrown. And for over 2 decades thereafter, Liberia was overcome by civil war. Millions were displaced. The landscape was ravaged by poverty and disease. Hundreds of thousands were killed, including nearly an entire generation of children who had been drugged, beaten and brainwashed to serve in the murderous campaigns of the warlord.
Let me hold you there before you get started. What did Denzel Washington just say? Children that were beating and giving drug, right? They were beating and giving drug. They were beating and giving drug. Where was Joseph Boakai at that time? Let me progress.
The children here in Liberia have suffered enormously. Many of the kids, they've never done anything except hold an AK-47 and take lives.
We think that maybe even up to 15,000 children have been involved in this war. They don't know where their mothers and fathers are, don't know where their brothers and sisters are. They are so angry about the war, they are so tired, they know the opportunities they've missed, and they want a future.
There was a light in Liberia that shined before and through the darkness. A game that offered a way to forget the war, and for one man, a way to rise above it altogether. George Weah grew up here, abandoned by his parents. He was one of 14 children raised by his grandmother. The only education he ever received was in the angles and artistry of soccer. His only classroom a dusty pitch near his home. And he quickly progressed from student to master of the game. His people would come to call him King George, a title befitting the greatest player Africa ever produced.
Delivered into the net by Weah.
He rose to stardom at home and then internationally. In 1995, he became the only man ever to win the African, European, and World Player of the Year awards in the same year. Famous, rich, and revered, he was distanced from his embattled homeland by miles and stature.
When he called from afar for UN intervention, the consequence was immediate and personal.
Oh yes, his house was looted, his cousin raped, and other family of his were affected. And as a result, they fled, went into exile.
Liberia has been such chaos and confusion, and it has affected George. The scars are pretty deep.
In these years, it was very difficult for me, coming from practice every day, watching television, Liberia on the news, people running away, people dying. So all I said to myself was, look, what can I do to better the situation in my country? I felt that Liberia is my country, that's my country, I must come back.
In 1997, at the height of the war, George Weah did come back, welcomed as a conquering hero. He supported the national soccer team with over $2 million of his own money. As a player and coach, he led the Lone Star to within one win of a World Cup berth in 2001, reviving the pride and hope that had been lost in Liberia for over a decade.
We started together, we have to finish it.
The team served as a unifying force within that time. Rebel groups, warring factions. Whenever Lone Star was playing, they stopped fighting and then just glued to the TV and glued the radio.
But the war continued. Still, Weah did not retreat to the safety and celebrity of his athletic life. The world's greatest striker stayed home and made peace his priority.
George Weah kept sport prevailing, no matter what was happening in Liberia. And he knows that he has a chance, with his international stardom, to actually keep the focus here for us a bit longer.
In December of 2003, a truce was declared, and Weah's efforts in Liberia have extended to saving lives.
So you guys can have a building for the children to go to school.
He now continues his struggle to restore the country, one child at a time.
Being with them, live with them, eat with them, play with them, I would know exactly what is going on. This is reality. I can run from reality. Every Liberian loves sports, so I know Sports can play a vital role in the country, in our peace process, and sports can help to discipline the kids, to unify them. Judge Bo.
Through soccer, there's reconciliation, and you can work out aggression, you can work out competition, but you do it within a legitimized structure, that it's talent that ultimately makes the decision here. And that's why George Weah is a symbol that you can do it, that there is hope.
Peace to Liberia. Peace to Liberia. Free education. Free education. Disarm. Disarm. I want to say thanks to you all. God bless you, and I'll always come back.
He came back because it was home. He stays because helping Liberia is now his life. Evil men had forced the children to act as weapons of war. An honorable man has invited them to serve as instruments of peace.
If you make a stand in this world, what you find is soon you aren't one man, you have a crowd around you. And I think that George has managed to rally people to the cause of peace, stability, and to the future of Liberia.
He represents the glory, he represents the aspiration, he inspires.
It's an overwhelming responsibility that he has, but he bears it very well. He came back at the time of disarmament, kept his promise. He's making other promises, and I know he will come back and keep those promises again.
The international community is here to help us. But what can we do for ourselves? What will we do to protect our nation? What will we do to educate our kids? What can we do to bring about peace within ourselves? That's the question. This is my soul. This is my blood. It's part of me. I can never give up on Liberia.
I can believe George because he's a man. A man do by a word. Yeah.
Free education. Free education. Disarm. Disarm. Peace to Liberia. Peace to Liberia. Peace to Liberia.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present this year's Arthur Ashe Award to George Weah.
I'm honored and grateful for this award. I've won many awards in my time, but this is the greatest achievement of my life because it stands for true humanity. Standing beside me is Hilson Hugo and Princess Soiree. These beautiful people never met eyes to eye. They always fought against each other. He fought at age of 11, she fought at age of 12. It's so devastating. The kids are here today to say to you people, they are innocent and are very sorry for the horrifying images they saw during our Liberia civil crisis. All they want today is to be educated, to be reintegrated into society so they can be people tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, let us find in our God-loving hearts to help the kids of the world, to help the kids of Liberia. And finally, I want to say to all the award recipients, congratulations. God bless you all. I love Liberia and Liberia forever. Thank you.
All right, guys. So to answer a few things here from my observation here, I see my brother V saying to me, you should have played this in 2005. V, you live in America here. The fundamental pillar of America is the history that America has. And that is why every child in this country and any child that comes to this country from their primary day in school, they will celebrate, they will read, they will study about the history of America. Today, the peace that people enjoy, you V, the peace you enjoy, everyone, the peace they enjoy today. That video where you saw Jack Klein, where you saw the U.S. Deputy Secretary of State, there was none of them that were able to bring peace to Liberia. They could not move on the rebel because they would be killing innocent people. But the only person that was able to come to their rescue, it was George Weah. Not only did he come, but he saved most of them job too. Because they were on the UN mission, there's nothing they could have done. Taylor was stubborn. But the question here is, where was Boakai at that time? Where was Edisana coming at that time? The peace that people are enjoying today in the country, George Weah is the fortress of that peace. Like for many of you guys that watch me all the time, not a day that come here that I don't criticize George Weah. There are times that I say George Weah was incompetent, and I stand by it at that time. George Weah himself know that when a player play a physique game on that day, they'll tell him, "Mama, you messed our game up." But that does not mean that the person cannot improve. If George Weah does the right thing, and you know, if George Weah does the right thing, I will criticize George Weah. If George Weah does the wrong thing, if George Weah does the right thing, I will praise him. If he does the wrong thing, I will criticize him. Like I said, and I hope he listened to me tonight. If George Weah win the election, he need to get rid of 98% of his ministers because they are incompetent. You think I'm going to sit down here and say, oh, because I'm talking all these things about George Weah? No. If Mr. Weah is doing the right thing, I will commend him. If he's doing the wrong thing, I will tell him that it is wrong and it needs to be fixed. I haven't been to Liberia in 26 years since I left that country. I'm not going to be scooping low to anybody, whether it's Boakai, Cummings, Ure, or even President Weah. No. If Liberia will move forward, you saw the young children and how they were disarray during the wartime. And he brought them out of poverty. And like Denzel Washington said, this is his life. So if anybody taking George Weah out of his focus, my role is to redirect George Weah back. So for some of you cowards that on YouTube trying to insult my mom, yeah, they're causing my mom on YouTube the hell. They're causing my mom the hell. But do you really think I care for these people? These are losers that they and Joe Boakai then will fall down and they will cry in it. Because you know why? I don't drink the drink you drink. I don't eat the food you eat. I don't dance the dance you dance. And that's why you find it very difficult. Eddie was there for 12 years. Did you see me in Liberia? No, because I'm not desperate. Taylor was there for the freedom. Did you see me in Liberia? No. Weah is any it says here. Even though I campaign for Weah, do you see me there? No. Because I believe in my profession. I believe in my education. I earned it and I deserve it. But the truth must be told. We cannot keep running with the country for 176 years and we're not saying the truth. Like I always say, remember the face. It's the face that will give you a heart attack every day. Because Boakai, Weah, Cummings, if you don't do the right thing, we will use the American political process to criticize your people. I don't live in the United States of Liberian community. I live in the United States of America, where when a white man come and call you the N-word, everybody hear at that white man, they even fire them. So if you support a candidate in Liberia or the government and the government not doing the right thing or your political leader not doing the right thing, I will also let them know. So you get used to me. By the way, I don't encourage people coming on the platform, but I feel that people are coming out to learn. Somebody got to be the one to set the tone. I'm not like Stanton Witherspoon. I came here, I went to engineering school, and I did what I wanted to do. I'm not like Stanton Witherspoon. I don't have 1 degree. Somebody asking me, oh, why are you talking about Stanton? He's not on the ballot. Stanton is a very dangerous person. Stanton is not on the ballot of American politics, but he's on a list of dangerous people. Get that clear. He's on the list of dangerous people in this country. You can support Stanton Witherspoon all you want, but one thing I can guarantee you, you and he cannot walk into any medical institution. You and he cannot be pulled over by the police and they check your record. You will be walking free. He will be living down there. He's a criminal. His record in this country has been tarnished. You want to hang with him all you want, but we'll let Liberians know back home that we are all not like Stanton. We will stand on the pillar of truth. We will stand on the pillar of commitment to make sure that Liberians back home will say, you know what, there are good people in our country. And thank God for social media, that we all have our own platform. So if you don't like it, get used to it. Stanton is a criminal. Let's listen to Stanton.
It is important to note those nurses.
That is the local connection.
This instead of somebody bringing pride to Liberia, this is the shame that Stanton Witherspoon brought to the people of Liberia.
That is the local connection to what federal investigators call a massive scheme to sell fake nursing degrees. We learned today that 2 Burlington County residents are among 25 people charged with operating the nationwide ring. Now, according to investigators, the group peddled more than 7,000 bogus degrees and nursing certificates to the tune of more than $100 million. Action News reporter John Paul joining us live in Camden tonight. And John, the feds say some of these fake nurses put real patients in danger.
Yeah, and that is the real concern tonight, Brian, that they may not have the background to actually treat people in a hospital-type setting. You know, I've confirmed tonight that Delaware actually annulled the licenses of 26 nurses already. And the feds tonight, they're charging people across the country, including 2 in South Jersey.
All of us feel this is egregious.
Strong words from the executive director of Delaware's Board of Nursing after learning of a massive scheme out of Florida to sell fake nursing degrees. And tonight, we've confirmed 26 nurses in Delaware had their licenses annulled in connection to the fake degrees.
These people who went to these Florida schools did not complete the curriculum, the education, and the clinical training that is required of all nurses to be eligible to sit to take their licensure exam and to be licensed as a nurse.
She says there are no reports of patients being harmed, but tonight 25 people across the country face charges for their involvement in the scheme that brought in more than $100 million, including Stanton Witherspoon and Alfred Sellew of Burlington County, New Jersey.
He's home? Okay. Can we talk to him?
We tracked down Witherspoon at his home.
While Denzel Washington is introducing George Weah on the war stage, you got an investigative journalist going after another guy for setting fake credential, and he is not able to come outside to face the question that the journalist has for him. And this is the man that people behind today. This is not what a Liberian is supposed to be. We as Liberians, we are a proud set of people. We are a committed set of people. We don't believe in shortcuts. When a Liberian man go to the U.S. embassy, they deny him, he or she will cry because he feel that he is being cheated. He believes that he has a work to do when he get over here. That's why he believe. That's why he believe. That is what he believe in. But you got a guy who came to this country where the opportunities are endless. And all he wants to do is to tell to tell Americans that you out there as a Liberian, that you cannot compete. He's telling the world that Liberians, the country we from, we can cheat, we can bypass the system, we can steal tests to survive. That's what he said. That's what he's doing. And that's wrong. You are not like that. Some of you guys, no matter what you are, where you stop, you got it honestly. You are not making the news for the wrong reason. You're making the news for the right reason. So when somebody tries to diminish not only you, but your country, among the nations of countries, citizens in this country, stand for the truth. Stand for the truth. Today, Sunday, you went to church. What the Bible teach or teaches you guys to be honest. Stanton is not honest. He telling the people that we are not capable, even though some people have doubt in their minds for us that we are not capable of doing anything. But there are people among you guys. You got aunt in the country, you got uncle, you got auntie, some of you got children. They are competing with other people's children in this country here. And they bring it proud to you. But you get a man who call people on the side and say, give me their gay certificate to go and get degree. It is called shortcut. This country does not get shortcut here. You don't go to work and clock in and run away. You work on that clock until you leave. You believe in yourself. You tell your supervisor that I can do my job. I don't care how you doubt me, I can do my job. But Stanton don't believe in that. And that's why he want to bring to the younger generation. And we'll say no to that. Because this country has taught us so many things to believe in ourselves that we can be whatever we want to be. It did not tell us that you can take shortcut. And that's why when you got to understand here, Stanton does not fit in the society to be anybody's teacher. He's a cheater. Go to your working place tomorrow and tell your people that we got a guy who tried to take shortcut. He didn't take no nursing test. He tried to give people quick money to get degree and see the kind of facial expression the people will give to you. You should be ashamed of him. Don't let him to be the one to lead you. Make your parents proud back home. Let your mom, your auntie go to the next door neighbor and say, you see my daughter? She worked hard. That house over there, she built it. She built it with hard-earned working money. Doesn't matter how low it is. As long as you're honest in it, you will go to bed and sleep like a young baby, and you will wake up like a 2-year-old who ready to go down to mom to get milk to suck because of your honesty. This man decided to not do what you guys did. I see many Liberians. There's a Liberian girl to my working place. Every day I walk by and see her working hard. She stopped me sometimes. She said, Randy, I'm doing everything I can do. My daughter is in Liberia. I'm trying to get her over here. I had to get her 4 a.m. in the morning to come to work. I said, you keep doing what you're doing. Your children will be proud of you. She said, I'm going to school. I said, go ahead, do what you can do. Myself here, I wash dishes in the country. I work in the factory. But to where I am today, I didn't get there by hook or crook. I married my sister. And every time I talk to her, she's motivated. She's committed. Why you think she can't take shortcut? Because she's not like Stanton Witherspoon. That is the behavior. That's why you see Stanton Witherspoon, Joe Boakai, then they believe in shortcut. Joe Boakai is not an honest man. This man is sick passing around. He had never come out to tell you guys what actually happening to him. But let me say this here, folks. I may not agree with George Weah on so many things. If I ever tell you that I'm 100% in agreement with George Weah, you are mistaken. But here's what I would say about Mr. Weah. All right? Those of you guys who want to defend Joe Boakai, why don't we take a look at this thing here for Joe Boakai? Let's take a look at the thing for Joe Boakai. When Joe Boakai take to the airway to talk, Joe Boakai political career started. He worked as a resident manager for LPMC from 1973 to 1980. 7 years. And then managing director for the same place from 1980 to 1982. But when you look on Joe Boakai page about agriculture, why isn't he mentioning anything about the Liberia Produce Marketing Corporation? What he did? What are some of the picture images he got? What are some of the projects he undertook? Because Joe Boakai did nothing. From 1983 to 1985, Joe Boakai served under Samuel Kanyando as agriculture minister. What is on that page that you saw that Joe Boakai will tell you that he did for Doe, that improved the agriculture sector when Doe had a Green Revolution agenda? What did Joe Boakai do? Nothing. What did Joe Boakai say in a post of energy when it comes to the job that he did under Dr. Amos Sawyer? Nothing. You are looking at a very incompetent man who believe that only his age will give him reason to be president of that country. So help me God. That will never work. Joe Boakai is a living human being that need to be put into the living museum in our country so that he can tell people about his failure. He got no success record. Nothing. Joe Boakai, as you can see. And by the way, the source of the information right here, it is coming from Joe Boakai's own page. I did not make this up. It's coming from on his own profile. There is nothing Joe Boakai can show here. The man is completely incompetent. When he take to the stage to talk, have you heard him talking about LPMC, what he did there? Liberian, you need to understand. In the private sector, people take their resume with them, put it on their arm. Nowadays, they submit it online, and the people read it and call them and say, oh, you have a very interesting resume. We want to interview you. In the public service, people will come out. People who want public service job, they will come out and tell you about what they did. Because in the democratic system of governance, the people out there are the ones that are going to hire you. So you have to go to them and tell them what you have done in the public sector. It's called campaign. When Joe Boakai go out there, what does he say to the people? Nothing but rubbish. No understanding of what Joe Boakai is talking about. All right? Nothing. Nothing Joe Boakai will say. Now, let's look at what Mr. Weah has said here. This information, you can go search for it online. Let me read this for you guys. All right? Let me read it for you guys. And this is where I would say, yes, this president called George Weah, he got something under his sleeves. But in order for him to accomplish this thing, Mr. Weah, if he is elected, he need to clear all his cabinet ministers and bring in new people to get this thing accomplished. For those of you that think that I can criticize George Weah, well, I'm doing it right now. The question is asked, which president of Liberia did their best to uplift Liberia and its people out of poverty? Let's read together. It says, Liberia has had many presidents. That's true, facts. And each has contributed to the country development in their own ways. That's true. However, we shifting gear there right there. One of the most recent presidents who has made significant strides in uplifting Liberia and its people out of poverty is George Weah. That's not me, folks. All I ask you to do, you see that question in the yellow there? Copy that question, pull it into the Google machine, you will get this information here. Copy that question. Don't take my word for it. I'm not like Stanton Witherspoon sending fake document to you guys. I'm not like Joe Boakai sending fake Billy Good to you guys here. I'm not like none of them. I'm just asking you. Look at that question. Do a screenshot right now. Type that very question. Put it into your Google machine. You will get exactly what I'm reading here. That is the leeway I can give you right now. Let me progress here. So it says, in 2022, President Weah launched an ambitious accelerated community development program. I never heard about this program before. This is my first time getting to know about the program. It is called the ACDP. What is the goal? That aim is to help Liberians climb out of poverty. You see what this man is doing for the people? These things cannot be accomplished in 6 years, but at least he has an agenda to move the country forward. Improve the living standard, live a healthier life and long life while reducing gross inequality between rural and urban areas. Yes, that's something that Toba was trying to do. When Toba became president, Toba wanted to create a bridge between the rural area and the urban area. He was not successful in doing that. But Mr. Weah's goal is to reduce inequality. The inequality when you see people that, communist people then going to Liberia and other people living in the interior, that is the inequality. And Mr. Weah want to bridge that. Another thing too is the program will focus on poor people with limited access to basic social services, infrastructure. And I hope they do that because the services and the infrastructure mainly will provide internet services across the country where JRND can be able to provide the kind of messages to our people, both in the rural and urban areas. The third bullet point there is the government aim to mobilize USD $100 million. All right? 100 million for the first 3 years of the program between 2022 to 2025. With support from the UNDP, the government of Liberia is currently negotiating other development partners to secure a full financing needed to lift all Liberians out of poverty by the year 2030. Where is Joe Boakai and Ellen projection? Why isn't Joe Boakai running on Ellen record? If Joe Boakai said he sat with Ellen for 12 years, why isn't Joe Boakai running on Ellen record? Why when Joe Boakai take to the airway to talk about things, he don't talk about what he and Ellen managed to do to succeed? Where is it? Let's bring Joe Boakai to come speak for himself. Let's bring Joe Boakai to come speak for himself. Bring him here right now. You bring Joe Boakai here, a man with no agenda, a man who sat down for 6 years doing nothing. Let's listen to him come and speak here. Go ahead, Joe. I hope your battery working. You just came back.
A society that will think that they will live on lies and deception until you want to develop. You can't have such a...
Joe Boakai want to tell you about lie. Say when he ever made an open confession about lying to a fuller businessman. Joe Boakai and lie cannot be in the same place at the same time. Because lie himself will get and say, Joe Boakai, you used me several times to lie. Why would you say I'm lying to other people? Come on, guys. You see how the old man is so dishonest? We got to be real here with people who are in Liberian politics. That country been in so many situations for a very long time. We cannot allow someone like Joe Boakai to come in and be telling people that somebody lying. Let's listen to him here again.
It's a society. When I'm coming up the stairs, you saw somebody holding my hand? You saw me with wheelchair?
But why wouldn't you have a wheelchair when you just come from getting the Chinese terror? You're a wheelchair man. Wait, now because we put... You remember that picture we posted the last time about Joe Boakai in a wheelchair? That the one you're trying to verify here? So we really got to Joe Boakai on that post, right? Yes, we did. Joe Boakai is a wheelchair politician who cannot exist in post-war contemporary political environment. All right? A wheelchair politician doesn't necessarily mean a physical wheelchair. Joe Boakai, your whole physical body is limited, Joe Boakai. You are incompetent. You are medically incompetent. You are mentally dull because your age progression is causing all the problem for you, Joe. So don't come here and want to come and verify things here, Joe Boakai. You are politically bound in a wheelchair. You sat down for 6 years and did nothing, and then you want to come here. You are a part-time campaigner. You campaign for 2 days. The next day you're going to to Ghana to get a Chinese steroid. We know all those things. But the point here is, Joe Boakai, where is your political message? I want to hear it because you said there was a big gathering today. But the gathering remind me of somebody who got different spots in their hair. I saw a lot of spot on the feed today. The whole crowd was just somewhere. Joe Boakai camera. You see, if you want to prove to some of us out here who use different, what we call bird eye view, next time, you need to put a live drone up in the sky. Put a live drone up in the sky. All right? There is a sophisticated drone they call DJI. Very good. You can launch it with your internet. It can go up in the sky and be very live so you can see the crowd. Now somebody standing right there giving you a horizontal view. Or say, yeah, we like that thing, we like that thing. Your owner lock it down in front of a wheelchair man. Joe Boakai in wheelchair, he can see beyond. So that's why he's saying, Joe Boakai, you were in a wheelchair. We put you in a wheelchair. So don't say because you claim mistake. People who in wheelchair, there are certain places they can read, they can lift them up. So Joe Boakai, you use wheelchair in your home. Period. Let me progress here, folks.
That's not what the Liberians will live on. The Liberians are not going to live on lies and deceit. The Liberians this time want the truth. Besides you who are here, many of our people left, they are in the diaspora. They all want to come home. We must create a home for them to come to.
But you got to be honest to bring them home. You got to be honest. You got a criminal in America here that's supporting you. What will give the people hope to come back? What is your strategy of recruiting people to come back home? There is none. There is absolutely none. So he's just giving giveaway out there. All right? Like Joe Biden would say, that's baloney. He's giving out baloney. There's nothing substantial. There is nothing factual about what Joe Boakai is talking about over there. The last time Joe Boakai was here, many people decided not to give money to Joe Boakai because they believe that Joe Boakai supporters on the ground, they are not only selfish, but most of them are traditionally, they are tribalists. They will not connect with the people on the side here. So Joe Boakai need to address the issue of being a tribalist. That's who he is. All right? So let me progress here.
Over the years, this country has just gone backward and backward and backward.
And when and where you and Ellen left this country, Joe Boakai? When and where you and Ellen left the country? Because the last time we checked, you guys squandered a lot of opportunities. You guys squandered a lot of opportunity. That's what you guys did. You want to hear from Henry Costa? Well, let's get Henry Costa on the phone. On the line.
We are here to give you hope. We are here to give you hope in your economy. We are here to make sure that our young people are prepared for a future. We are here for our young women and even the disadvantaged. And we want to see here that no resource in the country is wasted under good leadership.
He approves the agenda. He does everything, and that's why 1970.
Let's listen to Costa talking. Joe Boakai said the country went behind. But let's listen. This recording was on the 23rd of May 2017. Let's listen to what Costa said about Joe Boakai. All right? When Joe Boakai said he put the country behind. Listen to what he did.
To support him because they are all in the same, they're partners in crime. And they're all standing together. And a vote for Boakai is a vote to continue the evil that's been happening, that's been meted out against the Liberian people for the last 11.5 years. Do you know what it means? So with one signature from an evil 78-year-old woman, you basically put to risk the food security of the Liberian people. 65% of our protein comes from what? Fish. 65% of our diet, the food we eat, the protein we have in it comes from fish. And then with one signature, and with the blessing of Joe Boakai and the legislature, the acquiescence and the complicity, Ellen seeks to destroy the Liberian people yet again. Let's go to the phone lines and take some calls and hear what you got to say. Let me hear what the defenders of Joe Boakai have to say. This is the evil that's happening, and you have to wait for international people to tell you that the government. Let me just read for you what the people wrote in this thing here. How the government does not have interest in its people. Just imagine that. For an international organization to tell you that the government does not care about the interests of its people. I'm going to read this for you. The EJF, this is the Environmental Justice Foundation Executive Director Steve Trent said, quote, by removing the 6 nautical mile limit, the Liberian government is favoring short-term economic interests over the needs of its people. Did you just hear that? By halving, this is HALVRNG, by halving or by cutting in half from 6 to 3 nautical miles, the government of Liberia, according to the EJF, favors making money over the interests of its people. Ellen doesn't care what your children eat in their diet. She doesn't care whether they get kwashiorkor and big stomachs, or whether they are undernourished and malnourished, because when they lack protein in their food, they get undernourished. And a good chunk of Liberians are undernourished. So Ellie say, you all Liberian people can go to hell. And you think Joe Boakai cares? He does not care. He's basic campaigning. And he doesn't care about this because they all benefit. Because when James Colley, that cook, now when you go to the market to buy fish and you don't find fish at an affordable price, or you don't find fish at all, think of few people. Think of Ellen first, and then think of James Colley. James F. Colley at the LMA, he's the one, I'm told, who encouraged the president, because after he got approached by some of these industrial fishermen, these people with the large vessels, they offered them money, and they said, James Colley, you can make it happen. Push the old man, then she will take it from the Ministry of Agriculture and bring it to you so that you can be getting all the license, then you'll be eating your little thing. These buggers don't care. They are so wicked. The wickedness in this country is so much. And that is why you people suffer. And all of you who are supporting the people to continue the wickedness, may God strike you. May God deal on you like he did to Saul when you were on your way to Damascus. Yes. May he make you blind and then and restore your sight. You know, he made him blind first, right? Yeah. God made him blind. God struck him with a bright light from the heavens. And when Saul collapsed to the ground and he awoke, and he lost his sight, and when he regained it, he was a new man. From Saul to Paul. May God strike you all and release you, and we will politically exorcise you. You know, there's something called exorcism. Exorcism is when you remove demons from people. You cast the demons aside. We will politically exorcise you, as Jesus Christ did to the demonic, to people who were possessed by demonic spirits. That is how we will do to those of you who are possessed by evil political demons. And we would seek to exorcise you. That is what we would be doing. Let's go to the lines and take some.
So that's why Joe Boakai and Ellen did to the people. So when you listen to Joe Boakai saying things here, don't listen to Joe Boakai. Joe Boakai needs to run on Ellen record. He cannot run on Ellen record because of what he and Ellen did. So let's listen to him here again.
Again, he's physically challenged, but so can any of us be anytime. What makes him different? He speaks the language. He builds the integrity. He is surviving, living, without going around to people with begging. We want to get our disabled off the street and give them decent place to live.
Joe Boakai talking about getting disabled off the street. Do you know that as vice president, look, let me say this. When Tobo was killed, did you hear any news about his vice president being killed? No. Why? Because when Tobo brought in Benin D. Warner, his second vice president, he differed with Tobo on many political issues and political policy. Joe Boakai as vice president, Tobo created that role to take care of the group of 77s. Imagine the group of 77 were people who were born with physical or natural deformities, right? But then after the war, people who got injured during the war and became handicapped, that population of people were added to the group of 77. So that increased the population of the group of 7 community of Liberians. Do you know that Joseph Boakai never, ever assisted that organization? Those of you that live in Monrovia, go around public buildings. Do you see anything that could ram? He talk about wheelchair. Do you see anywhere where someone who is wheelchair bound can use wheelchair to go around? That was the responsibility of Joseph Boakai. That is the reason why Joseph Boakai has no agenda. But we will make sure that every word that comes out of Joseph Boakai's mouth, we will question it and we will challenge it and we provide reason for that. Joe Boakai should not come here and say we're going to help the people with wheelchair or who are wheelchair bound. No, he had that opportunity, but he squandered that opportunity. That's what he did. He had an opportunity, but he squandered it. All right, he had an opportunity and he squandered that opportunity. So do not let Joe Boakai to give you no misinformation here. You see, Joe Boakai cannot campaign on any record because any record is a disaster. It caused him to lose in 2017, so he afraid. So what Joe is doing now, Joe is trying to present himself as a non-political individual who ever participated in any past election or work in any government. He cannot run on his 42 years record in a single role as LPMC, Minister of Agriculture, LPRC, and a vice president. Those records are very poor and cannot convince even a roach to vote for him. Before I will talk about the Liberian people. But he using these desperate young guys then in the country who are Morovia bound and don't understand what's going on in the rural area, thinking that he will get elected. He want to talk about Group of 77. Some of you guys don't know, but let me tell you guys now. The Group of 77 will honor Joe Boakai's responsibility, and he did absolutely nothing for them. Let's continue here with Joe Boakai. Let's listen to him.
They are citizens just like any of us. They have parents. They didn't create those circumstances on themselves. A good society must look after everybody. Our children on drugs.
Really? Good society? Let's listen to what Joe Boakai told one woman here speaking about good society. Listen to what Joe Boakai told a lady here about good society. Listen to this.
Every one of us here come from different backgrounds. And life actually grants nobody excuse wherever you come from. I listen to stories of people every day. If you had to go this morning to my house, at the gate, people are there. My papa, my mama, they don't have food to eat. Sometimes they bring, the other day I was lucky, they brought two set of triplets to me.
I thought Joe Boakai said, hey, whom don't have gate. So why is he doing a gate now? Anyway, let me progress here.
And that's every day, every day. I'm listening to stories of people. Some I take care of, some I'm not able. The problem about here is that everything people want, they want it now. And they come for 500 and you must have it now.
You say the member be president. They may already know that Liberian people are demanding. You hear Joe Boakai? The problem with the people is they want everything now. Joe Boakai is telling you when they get it, they're going to create job. But I just want you to hear it so you can understand. Joe Boakai just said the people want things and they want it now. So I hope you're getting the message clear. I hope you're getting the message clear. I'm just a messenger. Let me progress.
As if to say you just have the bucket, you just take it and give it. And I asked, beside the triplets, do you have any other children? She said, yes. I said, how many more? She said, 2. So that's 5. I said, what happened to your husband? She said, he ran away. I said, I will run away too.
So there you go with Joe Boakai. A woman with 5 children came to him. The woman came desperately and said, let me go to the Joe Boakai. Instead of him meeting the woman's financial need, he decided to chastise the woman in her struggle and her pain. That's the man that people say he's a rescuer. He did not rescue that woman. He denied that woman. He rejected that woman. And he laughed about it. Did you hear him laughing? He laughed about it. Do you think it's by mistake that Mo Ali behind him? It's not by mistake. Do you think it's by mistake that Darrell Dillon behind him too? Darrell Dillon flogged a woman before. How many of you guys know that Darrell Dillon flogged a woman? You don't know that Darrell Dillon flogged a woman? You don't know that Darrell Dillon flogged a woman? Oh man, you guys are joking in the place here. You don't know that Darrell Dillon be a woman? That woman that can be behind Darrell Dillon? Everyone that behind Joe Boakai, they got history and we got everything here for you guys. Joe, let's hold Joe there small and let's bring in Darrell Dillon here. You will never hear the thing before, but you will hear it. Dillon flogged a woman before. Let's listen to Dillon here. Go ahead, Dillon, speak.
We got to get quiet. Somebody respect you and quiet. They're looking for 25 years. They're looking for 25 years, but they don't know the African and trauma that you can be on one man when you don't get nowhere. You just sit down there. Yes, you can't. Yes, you can't. Yes. You can't in 25 years.
Job, that Dara Dillon mother-in-law, the man beat that woman there. Beat that woman mercifully. Let's listen to his more.
The man, only looking at his reputation. He went to a hospital in the morning. He carried a camera. You see how crooked the man is? So just
you know why Liberian people don't like me? Because I'm damn good at keeping record. I told you guys I've been in Liberian politics since 2010. I did numerous recording. All the guys you see today who are in the forefront of your politics, I dealt with them before. And every conversation we had, whether it's on the radio, I track everything. So when some of you kind of say, J. Rennie is this, J. Rennie is that, I'm a constant variable. I stand behind the truth. You think Darrell Dillon one can sit down here to listen to this? No. The first thing we say you're black that man. Because they got stuff to hide. Darrell Dillon flocked that girl because the girl tried to expose him. But we'll not play that for you guys in entirety here. Let's go back to Joe Boakai again. But I just wanted to prove a point that everyone behind Joe Boakai, they are all crooks. Let's go back to Boakai again.
We want to tell them they have a future. A reckless society doesn't care for people.
What future the Liberian people got on Joe Boakai? The Liberian people got no future on Joe Boakai. Joe Boakai with Ellen. He was asked on BBC, what is your vision? He got no vision. You want me to spray that one again for you guys? What time is it now? We'll be leaving here at 11 o'clock. Let's see what we got Joe Boakai vision here. Where is Joe Boakai vision? Where is his vision here? Let's listen to Joe Boakai vision here. All right? Joe Boakai and Ellen did not get the people vision that Joe Boakai one can talk about vision here. Come on here, man, folks. Where is Joe Boakai with his vision? Joe Boakai got no vision right now for the Liberian people, folks. The man has no vision. All right? Let me see where we can find that vision here. Joe Boakai talking about vision. Please, man, people. Please. Joe Boakai has no vision for the people of Liberia. No vision at all. All right? Let's see where is Joe Boakai and his vision here. Joe Boakai got no vision for the people can talk about he got vision. Where is Joe Boakai vision? The man has no vision for the people. Where is that vision thing here? Let me see here. Where is it? Should be somewhere around here. All right? Joe Boakai got vision. I won't lie here. Where is that vision coming from, folks? The man has no vision for the people of Liberia. I'll tell you that one right now. Joseph Boakai got no vision for the people of Liberia. All right? All right. Let's see here where we can catch the vision here for Joe Boakai. Joe Boakai said he got vision. He has no vision. All right. Let me see here. Joe Boakai vision. Where is it? All right. Let me see here. Okay. I don't see it here right now. We'll let that one slide. But we'll find it. We'll find it shortly. But let's listen to him right here. Let me just expound on this here. He has no vision.
They believe.
He has no vision. He said on Ellen and he said he was going to use Ellen vision. This man is not running on any or Ellen record. What the record he said he was going to be running on? Everything that he and Ellen did. Where is that vision? Where did it take the Liberian people? And where did it leave the Liberian people in the hands of George Weah? Joe Boakai cannot articulate anything. Let me progress.
It is about themselves. What's happening in this country is that we are looking at the prices of goods, essential commodities, and that because they put some taxes on them to make them so expensive.
So what did you and Ellen do? You were there for 12 years of our president. What did you and the Ellen Unity Party administration did as far as reducing taxes and making the people's life better, Joe? Yeah, that's what Joe need to tell the people about. You know, you must do a side-by-side comparison. We are then used to go to bed in the night. We and Ellen used to stay all night until the next day. That's how we want to see the comparison. All Boakai is doing is just trying to give information about the Weah administration, but he's not telling you about what he and Ellen did. Neither is he telling you about his own personal achievement in every role he played. The 42 years he always brag about. What did he do in a role? You didn't hear Joe Boakai tell. You didn't hear Joe Boakai telling about LPMC, LPRC, Minister of Agriculture. That's the man you're saying you want to make president. When he don't even understand what he has achieved in the past, this guy is incompetent. This man is clearly incompetent. Let's listen to him more.
That people have to go around and beg. This is not a society that we're looking at. We are here to let you know that Liberia needs to move. We have enough resources. People.
What did he and Ellen do with enough resources? Let's go back to our man Costa here quickly here. Let's go back to Costa quickly here and let Costa tell you guys what did he do with all that deal. Let's go back again, folks. Let us go back here again to what Costa said about Joseph Boakai and this whole how they call it, the whole deal here. Let's go back to Costa and listen to Costa here, small folks. Let's go back to here.
You want the inshore exclusion zones. This executive order has no legal. The trawlers and the industrial all. The women who buy the fish, about what, 22,000 of them? That's 33,000 people, right?
Okay.
And then, of course, the entire population that eats fish.
Yep.
We all
going to suffer.
Yep.
And yet, the senators that should be advocating for the Liberian people's interest, where are they?
Okay.
They are all with Joe Boakai.
Okay.
19 of them are with Joe Boakai. And they're saying, we want the continuation of this. What the president has given up, all of our resources, 66 bad concession agreements. Joe Boakai as head of the Senate, the man who approves the agenda of the Senate. Now, folks, something you all need to know that you don't know.
What is it, Costa?
You
Tell
know
us.
who's the head of the Liberian Senate?
No, tell us.
Joseph Boakai.
Okay.
You know who approves the agenda for discussion, the things that the Senate does?
Tell us, I don't know.
Joseph Boakai.
Oh.
He approves the Senate's agenda.
Okay.
Everything, all the bad concessions, all the bad government deals.
Okay, Costa, hold on down there. So, Boakai, what was Boakai saying here again, folks? Let's listen to Boakai
He
here.
used to respect us. All the cheating, the stealing. How in the world can people stand like this to welcome you in the sun? And all you do for them is to steal from them and leave them miserable. This is what
that man signed 66 bogus deal that mortgaged out the oil block, that gave opportunity to companies during he and Ellington, where he presided over the Senate. And he wants to come back and tell you guys that this government of Georgia is the reason why things are the way it is. Are you killing me here, folks? These guys behind Joe Boakai, like I said, they are desperate people who have misused or used out their little resources. And the only way they can survive is to come behind Joe Boakai and only use what they have left in Weah coffers. And because Weah himself has not been very open up by getting the rightful people to come and nail this thing down for people to understand, it gave rise to Boakai then today, who caused the humiliation in our country of our people to stand on platform to come. Do you really think if we had a crack team, like we used to call back in the days soccer team when they say the thing is cracked? Do you think if we had a crack team, Joe Boakai will be talking like this today? No. This man called Joe Boakai, they all help to destroy Liberia. And he wants to come back here today to come and tell you guys that he is somebody that Liberian people should look up to. Are you kidding me here, folks? Are you serious? Really? Come on, man. Let's listen to Joe Boakai here again, folks. Go ahead, Joe Boakai. I know you're about to go low now.
we have to make sure that our streets, I can tell you, I will not leave government if this place is not prepared conducively for our children to play. I won't see that. This is the people, the place for the people. If you don't enjoy this in your country, where are you going to enjoy it? If we don't.
So you see how Joe Boakai got no message at all. Let me show you guys something here, quickly here. All right, guys, we are pressed with time. We got 4 more minutes to get out of here, and we're going to call it a day. So the election was launched on the 5th of August. So we have, in August, we have 5 Saturdays that equivalent to a week. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 today. Yes, this coincided with the 16th. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have reached 6 Saturday since the election campaign season was launched. Do you know that Joseph Boakai, up to today, hasn't come out, all right, to tell the Liberian people what he and Ellen managed to accomplish? Nothing of the sort. He has not expressed anything about what he and Ellen has accomplished. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Nothing. But the 12 years they were there, when Joe Boakai took to any platform, you will imagine that Joe Boakai, of all people, will be telling you guys, now look, in the agriculture sector, we didn't do well. Here is Ellen and our government statistics. We were better off than that. Come to education. We and Ellen, we left the country, we are at this rate of better education. Health, same thing. Joseph Boakai, as you listen to him here, nothing this guy is saying, absolutely nothing, that tell you that Joe Boakai and Ellen did not achieve anything in our country. Nothing in our country for the people of Liberia. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Do you think it was a mistake that Joe did not consider, Kekula Kudo did not consider Joe Boakai as vice president? Do you think it is by mistake that Ellen did not promote Joe Boakai? The man cannot even defend his poor record. Politicians should be running on their record. Joseph Boakai said he was going to be running on any record. The spider story that Joseph Boakai keep telling the Liberian people, do you think that the spider story people will go by? This man has no agenda for the country, people. I'm telling you guys, Joseph Boakai got no agenda for Liberians out there. He is speaking out of no concrete agenda. Absolutely nothing. Nothing, and nothing that Joe Boakai is talking about. He's not running on any record. He cannot run on his own record. So on whose record is Joe Boakai running on? All he does is he just tell a lot of spider story, and that's all Joe Boakai is doing from one platform to another. This is the man that people think that he's going to rescue when he cannot even rescue his own message out there. Jeez, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, help us, Lord. This is the man called Joe Boakai. He cannot even run on his own record. Before I will even say he and Ellen 12-year record. What kind of man that want to be president doesn't even have a record to run on? What is happening to our country? How did the man get to where he is today? Who brought this man into politics? When Ellen wanted him to go, who brought him into politics? The man is very, very incompetent. He cannot defend anything that he had done in the past. What is going on here? It's time for us to call a quit, man. It's time for us to call a quit for the night. Yes, we need to call a quit for the night. Because this is humiliation. This is embarrassing. This is nothing but a shame. Listen to Joe Boakai here, folks. Let's listen to him right now. What he said.
Lifted its economic sanctions against Liberia.
Listen to Joe
have to rethink. We are not America. We are not superpower. Liberians and African countries should consider themselves as countries that are still trying to build. Our people need to understand who we are and the challenges we have.
No, we don't have challenges, Joe Boakai. We don't have challenges, Joe Boakai. You said that the people have been enjoying during Ellington. You're talking about challenges now, Joe? You see how deceptive this man is? He's talking about challenges now, right? So what do you think when the president of Liberia come out today and say, we have challenges, we have to do this, we got program to unpack those challenges? Listen to Joe Boakai. You see how dishonest he is?
Mr. Boakai explained that rebuilding the
Listen, I want you to listen, because in a particular video, Joe Boakai said he was going to run on any record. Listen, folks.
country's infrastructure is a lengthy process, and one that may often extend beyond a presidential term. The Liberian vice president also announced that he will run for the top seat to succeed President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf during the 2017 presidential elections. He said he is running on Sirleaf government's record that includes...
He said he was going to be running on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf record. Where is that record? Joseph Boakai got no record. Joseph Boakai is nothing but an old car that has been parked, and that car is going nowhere. The car muffler is off the rail, and there's nothing that can fix that car muffler. Ladies and gentlemen, let us say a big thank you to every one of you guys. Joseph Boakai is nothing but a guy who is not ready to bring about any change in that country. Let's listen to the president and say goodbye to
Amanda! 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 Oh. Disse fana consenso. They see people with defeated, they come again with defeated again. Say,
And it sounds his battle cry.
they not new people that they see people who will defeat them. Say, how can a man that stay 40 years in government, you not do nothing, coming back saying they do something? Say,
40 years.
I say to you, don't mind them, don't mind them, don't mind them. Say, the people that cannot give you free school fee, joy we are giving to you, they say for more. Say, the developmental president of the Republic of Liberia. Say, to what another way cause so that you feed and say, Amanda! Amanda! God bless you.
All right, so guys, with that, we'd like to say a big thank you to every one of you guys. Thank you for joining us here. This platform is here to provide entertainment. It's to provide awareness in the form of education. We do our best here. We don't glorify any political platform or any political leader. We speak the truth here. And because we speak the truth, many people don't tend to like us because we are not in the pocket, we are not in the corner of any political party or political individual, neither the government. My name is Jay Randy. I supported Mr. Weah in 2017 and said that if he does the right thing, I will criticize him. If he does the wrong thing, he does the right thing, I will praise him. If he does the wrong thing, I will criticize him, which I have been doing for many, many years. And the reason Liberians don't understand because their minds, those who disagree with me now, their minds are stuck in one gear. Politics is dynamic. It's just like your child. Unless you're telling me that in your lifetime, growing up as a child, and your child you raised today, everything they did for you, it was right. So you never saw anything wrong. Not with me. If you get up today and do the right thing, I would praise you and thank you. But the next day you do the wrong thing, I will criticize you. Liberians don't understand that. Many of them don't understand that. They believe that whatever is wrong, it should be right all the time. I don't operate like that because politics is dynamic. If you do the right thing today, I will commend you. If you do the wrong thing tomorrow, I will criticize you. I understand you're not used to those things because number one, politics is new to you guys. But guess what? You got me to deal with. And that is why, whether it's the CDC government, whether it's the opposition, they are afraid of my style of approach. Why? Because I'm not in a pocket to praise you. If you do the right thing, I will commend you. Like I said, when it comes to me looking at Cummings and Mr. Weir, when it comes to people person, I will give Cummings that opportunity. If there's any award, I will give it to Cummings. Because Cummings is somebody that reached back to anyone who reached out to him. Unlike Cummings, Weir is yet to do those things. But how he does it, but for selected people. Cummings is not selective in that. So in the leadership role, we call that people person. I'm not going to say because I supported George Weir in 2017, I will not tell Mr. Weir what he has done to some of us here. No. And that's who I am. So take that same idea. When I'm talking about your opposition leader, your leader not doing the right thing, don't get mad with me unless you believe that nothing wrong. So those of you who live in America here, if you believe that everything should be bread and butter, don't get vexed with the people who support Trump. Don't get vexed with the people who say go back to your country. Because they feel like one of their ones should be here. So that the same mentality that some of you guys got behind the political leaders, that when they're doing the wrong thing, nobody should criticize them. Yes, right? But then when somebody try to criticize them, then you won't get angry. But for me, you got me to deal with. I always stand for the truth. Why? Because we should learn to do the right things in the right way for all the right reasons. I don't live in the United States of Liberian community. What do I mean by that? In how much many Liberians live in this country and understand the rules that protect every one of us here. Because America is the country with the higher laws that govern every one of us here. We are protected by laws and we are expected to obey the laws. Those are our expectations. Now, when a Liberian man, Lieutenant Witherspoon, does something wrong in his country, where the people stand against that bad things, Liberians who live in the Liberia community in America, they don't see it as something bad. They see it as something good. Why? Because when they transport that into Liberian politics, they disregard the bad behavior and they support the man. I don't see it that way. If a man does something wrong in America that affects other people, it is part of his character. Wherever he go, he take that. And I will judge him on moral standard and ethical values. But Liberians, again, many of them, or few of them, don't believe in our standard. And this is where many of you guys will always say, Jay Randy is inconsistent. No. If you understand what is right for you, you in the country, tomorrow you're going to work. When somebody take advantage of you tomorrow at your place of work or in your community, will you just sit down there and say, I'm not going to do anything? Of course not. You will not say that. You will be looking for your phone to call lawyers because you feel that your rights have been violated. The people in our country back home, they deserve the truth in order for them to make an informed decision. If you think because you support a political party and you bringing in somebody who have been indicted and found and went to the court and said, I'm guilty. If you look at Joe Boakai, who is now honest with the Liberian people, medically, professionally, and religiously, what make you think that he's going to be somebody better? In order for him to be better, he must be chastised. I will commend citizens who come on the platform here and watch me all the time because I had chastised them many times and some of them getting to understand little by little that yes, the democracies that we inherited since 2005, it comes with a lot of things. Criticism is part of it. Obama said that if you want to get into politics and you don't understand criticism, that it is part of politics, then you're in the wrong field. You guys who disagree with what Jay Rennie say, whether it's against Weir or against Boakai, you guys are not only in the wrong field, but don't come on the platform here. I don't go in your community. I don't eat your food. I don't dress your dress. I only come here to talk to my people who believe in me. If you want to be part of me, then you come with open mind. If somebody did something wrong to you, trust me, I will be there for you. But we all must agree that when somebody do something wrong, we should say, yeah, the one is wrong. Let us hold each other accountable. That way we'll have a sweeter democracy, and that will put our leader then on the edge because they will understand that even though Yakpa will support me, if I screw up, he will make sure that I am removed, and then we'll bring different person from the party to be in there. But if we don't take that approach, these people will become our masters and we will become their slave. And in the process of democracy, is the other way around. We are their master. We put them there to do a piece of job. And if we don't hold them accountable, who will hold them accountable? Think about that question as I close the curtain tonight. God bless every one of you guys. My words here is in no way mean that I don't like you guys. I love every one of you guys. But in order for us to build for us a society, a sustainable society, we must disagree. We must work with disagreeable people. Don't always work with people who agree with you. Sometimes you should learn to change seat. If you can get on the plane where you don't trust the pilot, you enjoy yourself. You get into a bus where you don't know the driver, you enjoy yourself. What more about you knowing about a politician and understanding who he is when you are part of a party? God bless you guys. I'll see you guys again. Take care. Bye.